In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what
It's a light rain. It'll keep the ball wet, but it won't be impossible. And what you worry about from the coach's standpoint is that just inopportune situation that occurs when the ball pops out, when a guy's running down the field and maybe a guy reaches from behind and just with a wet arm around the ball. We got some guys that really hold on to the ball well over the course of this year, and that's going to be important. The other thing that could be interesting, and I really didn't have a chance to talk to Coach Cronick today before the game, as I usually try to get a feel for the game. But, if we're backed up on the 1 yard line, are we going to throw that deep pass out of, in the rain and everything? I mean, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to call the game, according to what he feels like on the sideline. Sometimes on the sideline you get that feel that, we can do this, or maybe it's not the right time to do this. So we're going to see what happens with the Bear offense. I worry more about the offense for both teams, obviously, and under these conditions. The defense goes out there and gets after them, and they're going to try to jar that ball loose and rip it out every chance they get.
And while the Bears are looking to become the first Lenoir-Rhyne team ever to win 12 straight to open the season, Miles had their most wins in school history. This is the best season they've ever had in football. And they started way back in the early 1900s, so they won 9 games this year, 9-2. Again, the second time they've made the postseason. You're listening to Bears Game Day. We'll step aside, come back with more, and we'll hear from Coach Cronick one last time as he previews Miles College this afternoon. I'm Juju Phillips with Mike McCree and Jack Huss, and we're glad you're aboard listening to us wherever you are and however you are along the lines on Bears Radio. Thanks for listening. We'll come right back right after this. This is LR Football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
It's Nick.
Enjoy this moment. Then, with another one, go Bears.
Go Bears! Get it done! Today we're recognizing our heavy hitters of the game. Our weeks 9 and 10 winners are Amari Brown and Clayton Horn. Presenting Amari and Clayton with their awards are John Morant and Vice President for Athletics Cam Pate. Lenoir-Rhyne University is proud to continue the tradition of the Ronnie Lott Heavy Hitter Award this season. John will make a generous contribution to Habitat for Humanity in honor of Amari and Clayton for winning the Heavy Hitter Award. Let's hear it for Johnny Moe and our heavy hitters, number 5, Amari Houston, and number 35, Clayton Horn.
College getting ready to kick it off. Top of the hour, first round of the NCAA Division II playoffs. Juju Phillips, Mike McCree, Jack Huss coming your way this afternoon. Again, thanks for listening along the line on Bears Nation Radio. Time for our scouting report, brought to you by Cheerwine, as we find out the latest about Miles College. Head coach Drew Cronick, well, his team are going up against Miles for the very first time. They're coached by Reginald Ruffin, and he says it's a big deal for his team to make the playoffs. Miles are called the Golden Bears, and according to head coach Drew Cronick, we get his final thoughts. They are indeed a sturdy bunch of players.
Make no mistake, they are very deserving. They're a 9-2 team. When you watch them, you can see them improve. I'm impressed with their coach, Coach Ruffin. He's a ball coach because he's got these kids playing hard. I watch a lot of their defense. I am extremely impressed with them defensively. They give up 250 yards a game. Statistically, they're better, like from a yardage standpoint, than we are on defense, and we're pretty dang good on defense. Now, they play hard, they play physical, and they play sound. Somebody's coaching those kids and making them do what they're supposed to do, so I've been very impressed. It's not going to be real complicated. They're going to run the ball right at us on the stretch zone play, and they're going to do some RPOs. The quarterback is a good athlete. They're going to be big and physical on the offense. They will probably be just absolutely huge up front. But I've been impressed with their discipline and how hard they play.
Head coach Drew Cronick bringing us today's Coach's Corner, brought to you by Cheerwine, looking at our scouting report. And Jack, when you talk about it, he said some things that to me are kind of catchwords. Both teams like to run the football. Both teams are very good at stopping the run, two of the toughest things to do in football. And got a feeling today as both teams tried to establish running the football because of the wet weather, that's going to be one of the keys to this matchup today.
Well, I think one of the things that he said, Juju, that really struck me was about he didn't necessarily use the word, but the discipline that they play with on defense. If you're not disciplined against us on defense, you're going to give up some big plays. The Bears have been able to hit a few big plays. Not that the team was undisciplined, but you have to be disciplined to stay in the right place defensively, because we'll show you one thing going to the right and we're coming back to the left. So that really impressed me when he talked about that, and he really, I don't know that I've heard Coach talk about somebody we haven't played, and I know coaches speak, you're always trying to build up the other team, but I was impressed, and the coach was impressed with watching this team, and he knows they're talented. He knows there's some great athletes on there. We watched them warm up, and I'll tell you, if it's another one of those deals where if we were choosing up sides, we might not get the first pick, because they got some good-looking athletes on that football team.
One thing to watch, again, they won their conference championship game last week. You wonder, are they satisfied with doing that? Because I don't think a lot of teams expected them to be making the playoffs this year, even though their head coach has a winning record, and they are a very good team. They're usually right in the mix of the SIAC, the teams that are in that league include teams that Lenoir-Rhyne has played through the years, Benedict and Kentucky State, and some other schools as well. We'll see who is ready to go off today. We're waiting for the toss of the coin and today's starting lineups. We'll step aside one final time, come back with those starting lineups, and kickoff this afternoon. It's Lenoir-Rhyne and Miles College. Glad you're listening. This is Bears football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
The Golden Bears have won the toss and will receive.
It's Mike McCree, moments away from kickoff. Playoff action, NCAA Division II style. Here from Moret Stadium on the campus of Lenoir-Rhyne. Rain has been intermittent here so far today. Overcast, it's been raining all day, all morning, and it's picked up again a little bit. The umbrellas come on out, and so have the Bears as they come out onto the field. Lenoir-Rhyne lost the toss. Miles wins it. They take the football, so the Bears will kick off this afternoon. As we get ready, we'll set the defense for you first for Lenoir-Rhyne. Starting up front for Lenoir-Rhyne, that front four has just been superb this year. Jaquan Artis, All-Conference Defensive Player of the Year in the conference and other awards. He'll be up front along with Amari Houston, Dan Luba, and Tavis Robinson today. Clayton Horn and Sherrod Williams will get the start at linebackers. Milliken, Rosser, Scott, Taylor, and Jackson will start in the secondary. The Bears in all black today, black helmets, jerseys, and breeches. Miles comes in with gray pants and jerseys along with purple and gold or yellow uniforms as well. They're going to receive it. Here's the kickoff. It's a high pooch kick. Fair catch called for at about the 25. A couple of players bump into each other, but they hold on to the football. So Miles will take over now at the 25 in the first possession. They're led by the quarterback, Daniel Smith out of Peoria, Arizona. They like to run the ball. Dante Edwards and Justin Ruiz will start at running back.
One of the things we haven't talked about, Juju, was we don't know what kind of effect the numbers limit. Each team is allowed to dress 58 players. Mm-hmm. That could have an effect on special teams. We could have some guys covering kicks and doing some things in the kicking game that they have not done all season because you can't dress but 58 players.
Good point. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. They're out of the shotgun. They'll come out of the spread look. Quarterback's a left-hander, Daniel Smith. Automatic. Here's a penalty. First play out. A delay of game will go against Miles. The Golden Bears, 9-2, 5-1 of their conference. They're coached by Reginald Ruffin. 8th year here, and he has a winning record of 54-32. They beat Albany State in their championship game a week ago to get here.
That's kind of a surprise. First play of the game, you come out and you take too long. But they spent a lot of time on the sideline before they came out.
1st and 15. Here's a handoff. Bears have him under pressure. And in the backfield, he is thrown down. Artis originally, then Robinson coming off the defensive end. But Jaquan Artis with a penetration showed why he's the defensive player of the year in the South Atlantic Conference.
Jaquan Artis, you called it perfectly, Juju. He made first contact, but he beat that poor left tackle. That left tackle didn't have a prayer on trying to block him. He's way too quick for that young man.
2nd and 19, call it a loss of 4. This time they come out again, the spread look. 4 receivers, running back to the right of the quarterback who's in the gun, standing in his 13. Quick drop, throwing over here, incomplete. Short of his intended target over there, incomplete. 3rd and long now for Miles College, the Golden Bears, their team that likes to run it, Jack. So this is something the Bears are going to pin their ears back. 5th in the nation with 40 sacks this year.
Well, one of the things that you don't want to happen to you, if you're on the road in a playoff game in bad weather away from home, is to start off the way they started off. A penalty and then a poorly thrown ball for an incompletion. They'd like to get back in, and their first run play was a lot. They'd like to get back in some type of rhythm real quick here.
Crowd's into it as well. 3rd and long. Quarterback out of the pistol. Quick slant across the middle. Tip, nearly intercepted. Pass was intended over there for Tyree, and it was tipped through his hands to the Bears. Malik Taylor nearly had the interception. So here comes the punting unit. The Bear defense does its job. 3 and out. And Mitchell will go back to field it standing near midfield, so the Bears should get really good field position on this first possession.
And the other thing that's in good favor for the Bears right now, there's not much rain falling. It's kind of a lull in the rain right now. So, you saw the quarterback. He really didn't have any problem throwing the ball. The second throw was a really good throw. The defensive back was right there to break it up, and the ball slipped through the receiver's hands, but he didn't have any trouble throwing the ball.
The punter is Jay Fitch, standing at his own 2.
He looked good in warm-ups, too, kicking the ball.
There's a high kick, and he tries to angle it, and he kicks it into the stands near midfield. So the Bears are going to get excellent field position. I think it was angling over there for Bears trainer Michael Flicker, who's out there in shorts and short-sleeve shirt down there. It's 45 degrees, guys.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned the temperature, Juju, but it is a little chilly, and when it's rain on the ground, that's probably going to affect the backs more than it does the linemen. Those linemen don't even think twice about it.
Hey, thanks for listening. Long distance, our buddy Jeff Jones, Paul Bullock. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Bears Radio stretches across the nation. We've had people from Jamaica to out west, Indiana, Minnesota, and even up north listening to us online. Bears come out and a reverse. This is Ryan Carter with the run. He is upended, but not before he gets deep into Miles territory at the 35. Called it a pickup of 8, but the Bears come out and run a reverse on the first play of the game from the 43-yard line and get about 8-9 yards on that first carry.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure who that was out wide out there, but he gets his block. That's a touchdown. The wide receiver was not able to hold his block long enough to make that play work for a big gainer.
Bears send a man in motion, play action. Willingham
drag,
rolling right, and he dumps it off for Mitchell. First down, 25, and steps out of bounds near the 20. Nice little play action pass. Mitchell hauls it in, takes it down to the 20. Jaquay Mitchell, what a performance this year. His 16th reception, Jack. He averages 27 yards of reception. That time he got about 20.
I was glad to see Jaquay Mitchell get all-conference second team because he has been the real go-getter for the Bears.
This is Mitchell again, takes it up the middle at the 5 and into the end zone. So Lenoir-Rhyne, which outscores its opponents in the first quarter, 157-43, just handed it to Mitchell. And he takes it in from the land of milk and honey. A 21-yard touchdown. The Bears are on the board in the first 2 minutes of action.
And I tell you, defensively, they didn't know what to do. They lined up in base defense pretty much that whole series. But if you haven't seen Lenoir-Rhyne's offense and played against it, it's really, really different when you come against it for the first time because we do so much so quickly.
Like they were bumfuzzled. 3 plays, 43 yards. Extra point is good. Alba has been perfect all year as an all-conference kicker. The Bears lead it. Your score, Lenoir-Rhyne 7, And Miles College nothing. This is Bears football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Center Street East, conveniently located in Beaumont, is proud to be an official sponsor of Lenoir.
NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create.
You improved.
Back here for the kickoff, Lenoir-Rhyne scores in 3 plays to take the lead here, 7-0. Here's another high pooch kick. This time not as long back. It's going to be fielded at about the 32, and so Miles will get the football on their second possession of the football game. Time to step aside as we get our station identification. This is Lenoir-Rhyne football right here on 96.5 WSVM. Mike McCree. Miles running the ball on their second possession on 1st and 10. They barely get up to the line of scrimmage, call it a gain of 2. They try to run left here near side, and the Bears had him surrounded. Sherrod Williams coming in on the play, but that Bear front 4 again trying to stop the run of Miles. Came into this game, averages 31 points offensively, but about 200 yards on the ground so far. The Bears have done their job. 2nd down and 8. Again, this time out of the shotgun. 2 backs in the backfield, back to pass. Quarterback Smith, he's going to fire downfield deep. Bears had good coverage, tipped away it out of the hands of Jabbar Smith, and also the big receiver had a chance. Antonio Lee, he had a chance maybe to catch that football. It fell incomplete, 3rd and 8.
They've got some big, tall guys, and I was just about to say, if I'm them, I'm thinking back of what teams have done against us successfully. Throw it deep in a one-on-one situation to a big, tall receiver. That's exactly what they tried to do.
See if the Bears can get pressure. There's another flag, maybe a procedure call.
Yeah, it's going against him. I don't understand this call, too, because the halfback just kind of moved a little bit. He didn't go anywhere, and it wasn't a quick move. Nobody jumped offside, but the official immediately threw the flag. We'll take it, though. We're not going to complain.
Nice crowd starting to sift in here once the rain has stopped and slowed down. Nice student section over there hanging over the wall in the end zone.
The Bears are, I think, streaming this game into the Bears Pavilion over there. So there might be a few guys and gals that decided to wait around and see what the weather was going to be like.
3rd and long now. 3rd and 13. Smith out of the gun. Turns and hands it off to the back, running left, but a nice home stop. Edwards met. Edwards, 5'8", 215 pounds, out of Mobile, Alabama, leading rusher near 700 yards. Bears clamp him down, bring up a punt now, so the second time, the Bear defense 3 and out.
All-conference Clayton Horn in there on the play. And, you know, I really think if he hadn't been out and then hobbled for a couple of games, Sherrod Williams and Jaquay Mitchell are the 2 guys that, one on offense, one on defense, that I see similarly, Juju. They both do a lot of things for the Bears, and they kind of go unsung a lot of times because they don't have the gaudy stats.
Here's the punt. Line drive punt, not very good as well, and it goes out of bounds and nearly hit Flicker again over there.
He's trying to kick the ball. Yeah. Well, he's trying to kick the ball to the boundary. I understand that, but, you know, when you're right-footed, you want to kick to the left boundary because if you kick to the right boundary, there's more chance you'll shank it off the side of your foot and the ball goes off sideways.
So the Bears get the football. 35-yard line. 11:50 to go here in the first quarter. NCAA Division II playoffs on WSVM Radio. Glad you're aboard. LR has it, right hash mark. They'll send a man in motion. That's Dickey, turning hand off Stevens. He has a hole, has a first down near midfield and into Miles territory down to the 46 as the big running back, all conference, Amin Stevens found a big hole, gain of about 15.
Poe Clifton and
Jefferson.
No, 51
Finney.
Brinson. We're all on the same side of the line of scrimmage there. That's why that play worked so well. We shifted and got them all on the same side, and then we just blew a hole in there. They put all three of our best blockers in the same, right beside each other. Great job.
Bears had it at the 45, and then give it to Stevens again. He'll gain 2, 2nd and 8 now. Again, LR continues to shift running backs there. They'll put out Stevens out to the wide receiver there. He's out by the numbers to the right. They send a man in motion. Willingham's going to try to keep it, breaks a tackle, stiffs arms a man, sidesteps another, and gets it down to the 41. Made a nice little play out of almost nothing, nearly thrown for a loss, picks up 2. It'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, the Bears didn't have a very successful play, but they have not tackled well. I will have to say that defensively. That's probably the biggest thing that's hurt them on the first drive. They had several chances to tackle and did not tackle well, and that play right there was a loss. That was a 5-6 yard loss, but he just didn't tackle the quarterback.
Again, they only give up about 80 yards rushing a game. They're one of the top running teams in the country against the rush, 13th overall. Here is Willingham. They're going to run another reverse. They had it snuffed out. This time as Young had it, and he'll get about a yard. It's going to be shy. Bears try to run a reverse, and that time Miles snuffed it out to the 40, so that'll bring on the punting unit.
Well, yeah, I guess it is going to be the punter. I thought he might try the long field goal. But you're right. Now, that was disciplined defense. The defensive end didn't chase. He stayed at home, and when the reverse came back, he was the only one back over here, and the running back had to turn it back inside and was not able to maneuver enough to pick up the yardage.
All-conference punter Michael Owen, sophomore out of Duluth, Georgia, standing at the 45. Gets the snap. Ball is away. High kick angled inside the 20, inside the 10. Fair catch called for at about the 8-yard line. So that's where Miles College will come out on their third possession. Bears lead this game 7-0. Scored in 3 plays on their first possession in 43 yards. Again, Miles, school out of Birmingham, Alabama. They are a team coached by Reginald Ruffin. Played his college football at Northern Alabama, where he played on 2 national championship teams back in the 90s. Now in his 8th season, they started at their own 8. Again, out of the shotgun, it's a pistol formation. 3 receivers out, back behind the quarterback. Turns and hands it, quarterback keeper. He slides down to the 10. Daniel Smith keeping it on the right-hand side, slid down in front of the Bears that time, tackled by Quentin Hayes in there at the left defensive end. 2nd down and 9, gain of 1.
Eric Jackson, an all-conference player as well, along with Kyle Duggar. Even though Kyle missed the last few games, he was still selected all-conference as the return specialist and also as a safety on the defensive team.
Bears had a program record. 15 players make all-conference this year. 2nd down and 9. This time Smith will be out of the gun, standing at his own 5. 3 receivers out. Quick drop, looks right, throws right, complete. Hit hard at the 14. Coming up to make the stop that time as Jabbar Smith making the stop on the receiver. Call it a gain of 4. Going to bring up 3rd and 5 now.
The corner's in a little better position, too, to challenge that. We've had a lot of people throw that little short route in front of us, but our corners seem to be challenging a little bit more. That time the ball was thrown, and as soon as he caught the ball, he was tackled. There was no chance to run for extra yardage.
Smith will get out of the gun again. 3 receivers running back to his right, standing at his 10. He'll take the shotgun snap, backs up to his 5, throws it over here. It is incomplete. Throws it low. He had enough for the first down. Rosser in on the coverage that time on Leonard Tyree. 3 plays for the 3rd straight possession, 3 and out for Miles. So here comes the punting unit once again. 8:22 to go in the first. It's Lenoir-Rhyne 7 and Miles nothing.
Coach Ruffin had to be happy with that last defensive series to get a 3 and out from the Bears, especially because we had pretty good field position to start with. But, you know, the offense has not been able to generate. If they're not going to be able to run the football, they generally run for, 160 or 70 yards a game, something like that. You know, if they can't run the ball.
Bears block it. Touchdown. Bears block the kick. Fielding it in his end zone.
Number 6.
That is Trey Luttrell.
How about? Yep. How about that?
Bears blocked it. I don't know who blocked it, but they get the block in Luttrell. You talked about the special teams making a big difference early on, and the Bears have just scored their first special teams touchdown on a block kick in some time. It's now Lenoir-Rhyne 13, Miles nothing. That may have been number 5 for the Bears, Amarian Brown.
We're going to find out right here.
Here's the extra point, is up and good. We'll keep it right here. 14-0 in favor of the Bears on the special teams. Big play.
It's Luttrell. He blocked it and recovered it.
Did he really?
Yep.
What a nice play by the freshman. Wide receiver, played high school quarterback. And out in Georgia, Habersham High School. And boy, I tell you what.
He came from the outside. He blocked it, and then he kind of ran around to get back to the ball. Here it is again on the replay. We're watching the replay on the computer. Boom. He blocked it. No, that's not him. That's not 6. That's a different. That must be 5.
Yeah, I think it was Amarian. Amarian Brown.
Right.
They were.
Yep. I thought he ran around, but because it was a single digit. 6 blocked it and 5 recovered it.
So the junior out of Warner Robins, Georgia, and Highland Community College, Amarian Brown gets the block, and Trey Luttrell with the fumble recovery in the end zone. The Bears lead here 14-0, off to a great start. The good guys leading here. Thank you for listening on WSVM Radio. 14-0. We'll give you some updates around the playoffs right now. West Florida leading Wingate. It was Bowie State on top of Carson Newman at last report. We'll get an update in a minute. Bears ready to kick it off.
That game's still 9-7.
Okay, 9-7 in favor of
West
Bowie
Florida.
State.
West Florida leads Wingate now 17-3. A little bit of a surprise there. I thought Wingate would win that game at home, but of course it's not over. But 17-3, down 2 touchdowns real quick.
Here comes a return. One of the players for Miles. A nice play by Luttrell. He again back down there, nearly made the tackle again. He slipped his tackle before the Bears wrapped him up at about the 23-yard line, 21-yard line. So good special teams play by the freshman Trey Luttrell. And here comes Miles, trailing 14-0, 8:07 to go in the first. Bears have done it with some big plays and the special teams early on to lead here. Lenoir-Rhyne trying to go 12-0 for the first time in their 100-year history. 1st and 10. Miles out of the pistol. They'll send out 4 receivers. Quarterback takes the snap. Turns and hands it straight up the middle. No hole. Bears meet him right there. Dante Edwards, and they push him all the way back to the 10-yard line. Gain of about nothing.
I tell you, they're just not able to block our interior 4. A lot of people have had trouble this year blocking those interior 4 guys. And I tell you, they've really had problems. They didn't move him anywhere. They gave him line of scrimmage, but the Bears had him going backwards about as quick as he came in there. So, if they're not able to run the ball and they're forced to throw the football, the left-handed quarterback has a long throwing motion, and it takes a little while for him to get rid of the ball. And anytime you do that, it's kind of like a baseball player. The longer you got throwing the motion, the easier it is to steal on him, and that's what cornerbacks can do.
Back to pass, play action, throws it down the field, incomplete. Threw it behind the receiver, Leonard Tyree, covered by Rosser over there. Yeah. Third down and long.
And he was open. That's just a bad throw. So far, he has not been able to put the ball anywhere close to the target he's been throwing at. Daniel Smith, he passed for over 1,500 yards this year, but he threw for 13 touchdowns, but he also had 11 interceptions. So that's kind of not what you'd like to have in your quarterback.
About 50% of his passes were completed, so that's not a good percentage either. And the ratio, touchdowns and interceptions, pretty high. 3rd and 10 now, standing at his 21. They hand it up the middle, running with the football is Brown, and he'll get it shy of the first down to the 28. Goes the running back Dante Edwards, a sophomore out of Mobile, Alabama. It's like a punting unit comes out. Are they going to go for it here? Trailing 14-0.
No way. No way.
Yeah, here comes the punter. So 4 possessions.
I tell you, I thought for a minute he might give it a shot. I mean, Coach Ruff, but this is almost like a panic move if you do that right now. And your players sense that. Your players will say, "Hey, golly, we're in that big trouble. We got to go for it." And it's only 14-0 in the first quarter.
Bears have been so good in the first quarter all year. Low snap, and a kick goes straight up in the air.
Going backwards when it hits.
It is. Good call. That's going to be about a 5-yard punt, guys. 5-yard punt. It went straight up in the air and rolled back. My gracious, at the 34-yard line.
You're right. It's dead on exactly 5 yards. Wow. I'm telling you, he's trying to kick the ball. He really is. He's trying to kick it to keep it away from our return people. And you know, he just hadn't had any success doing it. I watched him warming up, and boy, he really kicked the ball well during warm-up.
Average 35 yards a punt coming into this game. Come the Bears offense and see if they try to go up on top here and with a little quick strike action. 34.
We've been known to do that in this situation. We get in a tight formation, too. This could be where we do throw it.
Here we go. Play action. Willingham under pressure. He's going to go down.
No, he took too long.
Yep, indeed. He'll be sacked at the 44. Good play by Miles' defense. Sacking Grayson Willingham. Only the 8th time he's gone down this year. So it's going to be a loss of about 8 on the play. 2nd and long now. 6:06 to go in the first. Lenoir-Rhyne on top here. 14-0.
Yeah, we got in a formation that looked like run all the way. We had everybody in tight and then tried to do the play action thing, and Grayson had a chance to throw it, and then he didn't because the receiver was covered. And once he brought that ball back down, it was pretty much over then.
Bears have 2 tight ends in there. Again, wing T look. Mitchell goes in motion. Willingham out of the shotgun, play action. Steps up in the pocket, plenty of time. Man is wide open, incomplete. He was looking over there for Ryan Carter, shy of the first down, but he was open. He just threw it high.
He would have caught that ball and turned around and run for another 10 or 15 yards if had the ball been thrown properly. But and that, again, that could be a wet ball right there. The ball just sailed high. Right now, there's no rain. Right now, the conditions are ideal as far as a wet field. I haven't seen anybody slip on this field. The turf is great.
Yeah, indeed. So Mitchell comes out here on 3rd and long. They'll go with a couple of tight ends again. Will Neal and Starks is in there, tight end. They're going to run it this time. Straight ahead to the fullback, Stevens, and he's met at the line, thrown back. He'll get up to about the 41. Gain of 3 on the play, so the Bear offense stymied for the 2nd time now. Here in this first quarter, leading 14-0, will come on to punt the football. Michael Owen steps out, the sophomore from Duluth, Georgia, one of the 15 players named all-conference. Both kickers for LR Jack, punter and kicker.
And they should have been. The Bears, the punting game, although that we've had some games we only had to punt once or twice, Michael Owen's done a great job this year. And Holden Strong, the long snapper, has done a fantastic job.
Another good snap and a kick by Owen. Fair catch called for inside the 10. And they fielded about the 7. So with the 2nd possession now for Miles inside their own 10. So far, Miles' offense, not much doing here with just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. They had the ball 4 times and 4 punts. So the Bear defense has done its job. LR leading 14-0 thanks to a quick strike on their first possession. They scored, and then a blocked punt in the end zone made it 14-0. Bears lead here. Here come the Golden Bears. 9-2 so far this year. 2nd playoff appearance. Different quarterback in there this time, and he runs it to the left side, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Again, the new quarterback in is John Cordier, a senior out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Picks up 4 or 5. Second down.
He's a backup senior. Both quarterbacks are seniors. And I thought we might see a change because Daniel Smith just did not throw the ball very well at all during his 3 series in there. So it's a good time to give your other quarterback a shot at it. They're both seniors. They'll both be graduating, so you're going to have a new quarterback next year regardless, so you're not going to hurt anybody's feelings.
Cordier, this time they run the play to the right, and the ball is stripped loose, falls on the ground. Let's see who gets it.
He got back on it. He rolled over and ran, and the ball was laying right there. He got tackled and rolled as he lost the ball, and when he rolled over, the ball was right there, and he was just laying on top of it.
Justin Ruiz, the junior running back out of Atlanta, got stripped, but fell on the football, as Jack mentioned. Now 3rd and long now, 3rd and 12 now for the Golden Bears. They're going to be backed up at their own 5.
Yeah, this is probably not their passing quarterback. He's a backup, and statistically, he didn't throw the ball for near the yards that Smith did. So he comes in probably, he's more of a running quarterback. Let's see what they do here.
They've lost 14 fumbles this year. They're going to run it. Quarterback keeper running right side up to the 10, way short of the first down as Cordier runs it. So for the 5th possession, it's 3 and out for Miles College.
They were not going to throw the football from that situation on the field. So, you know, the Bears have played great defense up to this point. Miles has played great defense except for the first possession. The Bears haven't been able to pick up a first down outside of the first possession when he took it right down the field. They got the other touchdown on the block kick. So the Bears probably look for them to come back probably more back to their offense. I think we got, you know, there was no doubt we would probably take a shot on that last one, but the sack cost us a lot of yards and we couldn't overcome it.
Fitch this time with a kick, not very good. It's angled over here. That gets a nice roll.
Be the best kick he's had yet, though.
Yeah, gets a nice roll down to the 41. So that's where the Bear offense will get it on their side of the field at the 42. They mark it. There comes the offense. LR in all black today. Miles in the silver or gray with purple and gold on their helmets and socks. Nice contrast here this afternoon. Bears in all black with the white numerals, which I like. Easy to read.
They're bigger too.
Yeah, much bigger. Band is out here today. Cheerleaders are out here. Nice crowd has come out to
the student section. Look at the student section down there.
Love
those students.
Brave the conditions. Bears set up, handoff. Stevens right side. Puts his head down, knocks a man over. Into Miles territory goes the battering ram, the minibus. Nice run that time by Amin Stevens, all-conference running back. Leads the Bears with 554 yards and 12 scores. That time he looked like a battering ram, picked up 9.
Great run and poor tackling again.
Again, Stevens has it. He's into the secondary, running with the ball down to the 40. Call it a gain of 9, and another custom design group Bears first down.
Stevens is so good at that, Juju. He gets the ball headed toward the guard area, and we just wash everybody to the inside, and he just slips outside.
There's another handoff running right. Mitchell. He'll get it back to the line of scrimmage. Trying to go the shorthand side here on the short side in front of the LR bench, just outside the numbers, running right. And Mitchell was caught and stopped at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
The Bears have not been able to really force the ball outside on the jet sweep or anything outside. Our great runs, even though touchdown run, Mitchell cut back up inside and made that great touchdown run. So the Bears may have to keep it between the tackles.
This time they run option left, Mitchell, and it looks like nothing over there. You're right. Miles coming up to stop it. 4 guys around the football stopping Jaquay Mitchell. He got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost one. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, they're defensively, they have great speed in the secondary. Their linebackers can run. They play 4-3. They got 3 linebackers, and they really run to the football. We have not fooled them defensively. I see what Coach is talking about now. They stayed at home. The option fake didn't bother them. I tell you, they're right where they need to be. It's a good defensive team.
4-man rush, rolling right. Willingham throwing over here. Pass is dropped.
Incomplete.
Shy the first down. It was intended for Lester over there at about the 31. He would have been about a yard or 2 short. That's going to bring up another punting situation as Michael Lone comes out to the field here.
Yeah, that defensive team, I'll tell you what, that's pretty strong right there. You know, I thought maybe we weren't sharp this last couple of series after the first one. But I tell you, since that first series, that defense right there is pretty stout. That's as good a defensive effort for the 3 series in a row now that we've seen.
The Bears are going to punt it.
It'd be 7-0 going into the quarter if we hadn't blocked that punt.
So Owen steps into it near midfield. High kick.
Another good one.
Fair catch down near the 10. So for the 3rd consecutive possession, Miles is going to take it at about the 10-yard line or inside their 10. It's going to be right at the 10 in between the 2 hash marks. We'll step aside with 1:07 to go in the first quarter. It's Lenoir-Rhyne 14 and Miles nothing. This is Bear football powered by Carolina West Wireless.
For over 50.
Dante Edwards tackled by Sherrod Williams. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Back here, Juju Phillips under pressure. The quarterback for Miles is sacked. Bears get their 41st sack of the season. Amari Houston in on the sack that time with a little help from his friends. His 7th sack of the season. That Bear front line. Houston, one of those all-conference performers. One of 15 for Lenoir-Rhyne. It's going to bring up now 3rd and 11. Ball's been placed at the 9-yard line for the Golden Bears of Miles College. Final play of the first quarter. Bears on top here, 14-7. I don't know if we'll get it off here.
No, he's not going to.
All right, so 14-0 in favor of Lenoir-Rhyne. Time to take another break. Stay with us. This is Bears football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
That's on time.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Up with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and sponsor Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics.
Come see us at Paramount Automotive for all your car buying needs.
And remember, we sell tires, lots of tires.
Go Bears!
Back here, Juju Phillips, Jack Huss, Mike McCree, thank you for listening. This is Lenoir-Rhyne playoff football on WSVM Radio. Back to action as we start the second period. LR on top here, 14-0. 3rd and 11 now for Miles at the 9. They have the ball between the hash. Quarterback standing at his own 4. Cordier back to pass, looking left, throwing, incomplete. Receiver went one way, ball went the other. 5th time today. Miles, 3 plays, and here comes a punt.
Daniel Smith is 1 of 6 today. And Cordier, now that's his first throw, so he's 0 of 1. They're 1 for 7 in the passing department, and that was a short 4-yard game they threw to the little flat out there. But, they've been stifled offensively, but on the other hand, their defense has been magnificent against the Bears. After that opening salvo, when the Bears came down and scored in 3 plays, we had a nice run by Amin Stevens, but our option play, our fake, play action run, all of those things, none of those plays have worked against this defense.
I don't think you've ever used the word salvo.
Right, I'm trying to improve a little bit, on my vocabulary.
So there was a punt, short punt. Bears field it. Fair catch by Mitchell at the 40. So LR with again. They played the field position game, and it's been tilting in LR's favor. Bears on top, 14-0 to have it now at their own 40.
I think we ran one play in that quarter. He punted the ball down to about the 42 in the first play. We had a nice run back over the field. I think that was the only play we ran that was not in the Miles territory since the game began.
Miles has about 20 yards of offense. The Bears come under center this time. They shift. Ball's between the hash marks, center of the field. They run left. This is Young. Gets a nice block around the corner. 30, 25, 20. Spins down close to the 15. Boy, he used his blockers, tippy-toed down the sidelines on the LR side and picked up about a 15-yard carry.
Yeah, that was the first time we really sealed that off. We blocked everybody. We did everything on the jet sweep we're supposed to do, and we can run that play from a bunch of different formations, and that really helps when we can show you that play from 5 or 6 different looks. That time we were able to block everybody, turn it up, and I tell you, Ryan Carter's become a pretty good ball carrier for the Bears.
1st and 10. Turns, hands it off. Stevens running left, and he gets inside the 10, puts his head down, pushed out at about the 8. Amin Stevens picked up about 8 yards on the play. 2nd and short now for the Bears, as Stevens, that all-conference running back, sophomore out of Savannah, Georgia, picks up 8. 2nd and short. Bears quickly under center. Willingham. Stevens stays in there. Wing T look. They look to the sidelines. 2 tight ends are in. Ramsor and Neal. Ball's on the left hash. Willingham about to take the snap from Jefferson. 2nd and 1. Handoff. Stevens left side. He should get the first down to the 6-yard line. First down close enough for a custom design group measurement, perhaps.
No, I believe he got it.
Okay.
Oh, they're calling 4th down, aren't they? Yeah, they gave him first down. Yeah, they're just dropping the chains. They don't have to move him because it's inside the 10 now.
Means Stevens over 50 yards so far in this first half of rushing. 7 carries, 52 yards.
Amin Stevens to the left.
They run motion left, play action, rolling right. Willingham open, caught, touchdown. Play action and the rollout. They hit Josh Ramsor. His first Lenoir-Rhyne touchdown.
Hey, Coach with a wrinkle there, you know that. Hey, Coach always got a wrinkle. Okay, we lined up in there, and everything about that said Amin Stevens running to the left. He faked it, naked bootleg. Josh Ramsor slipped out in the flat, and Grayson Willingham just tossed it to him for the easy touchdown. What a great play call. Coach always has a wrinkle for him, something they haven't seen.
23rd touchdown pass for Willingham. Ramsor, the graduate transfer from Elon. Newton Conover High School gets his first LR touchdown. And Elbaugh just splits the sticks. Bears go 40 yards in 4 plays. Take the lead again. It's Lenoir-Rhyne 21 and Miles College nothing. You're listening to LR Football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
It's Nick at Paramount Automotive, and we're proud to sponsor Lenoir-Rhyne Football. Go Bears! Come see us on Highway 70. We've got a huge inventory of new Volkswagens, Volvos, Porsches, Hyundais, and Kias. Plus, did you know we sell tires, and we'll be any competitor's price on tires every day. If you're thinking about selling your car, we'll buy your car, truck, or SUV, even if you don't buy a car from us. So during those timeouts, check our inventory at ParamountAuto.com and score a touchdown at Paramount Automotive.
Boy, that was a hard hit.
When the Bears get banged up, they go to Richard Williams, official team chiropractor for the LR Bears. And he's the best choice for your family, too. Whether it's dealing with sports injuries, headaches, body pain, jaw disorders, carpal tunnel, and much more, Dr. Williams will individualize the program to meet your specific needs. So if anybody in your family needs chiropractic care, choose the best. Choose the man the LR Bears trust, Dr. Richard Williams in Hickory. More at richardwilliamschiropractic.com.
We talked about Bear Nation. We're getting them young and old. Listening to us, there's a fumble on the kickoff. Ball's rolling
Bears
around.
got it.
Bears have it.
They're all over it. Man, that was just devastating right there.
So the Bears get the fumble recovery right through the hands of the return man. Chad Crumley, a freshman out of Burke County, Georgia, gets the fumble recovery, second turnover of the day, and the Bears have it at about the 27-yard line.
But hold your horses. I don't have any idea what they're talking about. I don't know what these officials could. Look at this. There's a penalty.
I don't see a flag.
They're going to make them kick it again.
They are, you're right. Inadvertent whistle.
This is terrible. You know what happened? I'll tell you exactly what happened. The guy signaled fair catch, and he ran over there to catch it. And the ball came down, the guy blows the whistle. He didn't wait for him to catch it. He blew the whistle as the guy's catching it. And he didn't catch it. So he's calling an inadvertent whistle, and the only way out of it is to make him kick it again. You can't give us the ball. And, they already had the defense out there. And we had the offense out there. This is really bad right here.
We haven't seen this before. I've seen inadvertent whistles, but not on a kickoff.
Well, I've seen it before, and I've seen it in basketball. I officiated basketball a few years. And, we would have it sometimes in those situations.
But not in this situation.
Yeah, there's just not anything. They're stuck. But the thing about it, I don't know who heard the whistle. When they never signaled, did you notice? And that scared me. Nobody signaled it was our ball. Not a single official signaled. They all huddled, and nobody was pointing our way, and everybody knew we had the ball. And all of a sudden, it was just a bad situation to start with, but hey, it is what it is.
Fortunately, the Bears lead here 21-0. on top here. So we'll kick it again. Elbaugh. Let's see if he goes to the same guy. He does. He'll kick it over here. Another fair catch.
Catch it this time.
He'll catch it this time. Backs up to his 25-yard line. Little extracurricular over there. Separate the players. So here comes the Bear defense. They've been perfect so far. Has Miles picked up a first down yet? Maybe no first downs for Miles here.
Our guys need to get out of there. And the last thing we need now is guys on special teams picking a fight. Get out of there.
They're done. They're out of there.
Yeah, that just.
So the Bears defense, which has not yielded a first down to Miles College, who came into this game averaging 31 points a game and about 360 yards of offense. But the thing that jumped out at me as I looked at the stats, they lost 15 fumbles this year coming into this game. Here comes an option right quarterback, no running room. Bears snuff it out.
Clayton Horn was right there to make a play, and the guy ducked him, and as he ducked him, Jaquan Artist was right behind him. He never had a prayer. Clayton Horn went over the top of him, and Jaquan Artist just got him from behind almost immediately when he turned. Their defense they look so quick today. They're just moving around out there. Everything that Miles has tried to do, they're unable to throw the ball successfully, and of course they'll complete this one now when they say that, but they can't throw the ball successfully, and we're just swarming everything on defense they try to run.
Dante Edwards tries to run it up the middle and he gains no yardage. You get back to the line of scrimmage, call it a 3rd and 10 now. That front four for the Bears, Quentin Hayes, Dan Luba, Amari Houston, Jaquan Artist, making all the stops right now for the Bears. And up front, as you mentioned, Clayton Horn and Sherrod Williams at linebacker. Rosser's in there along with Landon Scott, Malik Taylor, Eric Jackson. Good play over there by Javoris Smith. Checking in is Robinson. He'll be at the right end. Bears bring pressure. 6 up, incomplete. Quick slant across the middle. Malik Taylor on the coverage that time of Leonard Tyree. It's over the 7th time here in the first half. It's 3 plays and out for Miles, and they're going to punt the football. They yet do not have a first down.
Amari Houston was all over him very, very quickly there. Quarterback, they don't have time to really stand and throw the ball in the pocket. They got to get rid of it, and their receivers are trying to run routes 10, 12 yards down the field without looking. They better be looking quickly because that ball's coming out of that quarterback's hand.
Jay Fitch will punt it for the 7th time in the first half. Mitchell standing back at his own 40. Fitch standing at his 10. Gets the snap. Ball is away and over.
But it might turn out good.
And it just dies right there near midfield. 49-yard line. That's where the LR offense will get it. They've had field position the entire first half. LR leads this NCAA Division II playoff game 21-0. Let's check some scores now. Games from started earlier this afternoon. West Florida leading Wingate at last report. Bowie State on top of Carson Newman. Those games started at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that West Florida game is 17-3 at half in favor of West Florida. Carson Newman is still showing 9-7. They haven't updated that game since halftime.
So the Bears have it here, 49-yard line. Grayson Willingham out of the shotgun. This time he goes under center. Steps in, wing T look. Drops the snap, falls on the football. At the 48, loss of 1, 2nd down. That's one of the rare times all year in the 12 games we watched the Bears this year. They dropped the snap from center. We saw it a lot way back early last year, Jack, on this new offense, but haven't seen it a lot lately.
Yeah, that's a
rare sight.
Yeah, that's a different center in there now. That's Blake Jefferson. I'm sorry. Blake Jefferson's in there. Yeah, he was the starter at center. I forgot he's 54.
Tay Beaver was in, checks out, back in is Stevens at fullback. Mitchell goes in motion, receivers to both sides. Play action, Willingham. Here's a screen pass over incomplete. He was under all kind of pressure. He was hit by 2 men, intended for Stevens, but the ball fell incomplete. He threw it over his head. He just had to get rid of it. It's going to bring up 3rd and 11.
I'll tell you, that defense, they brought a corner blitz.
They had the perfect play call.
I'll tell you, they get after it now. That defense there has been no let-up in that defense since the opening whistle. We've had 2 drives, and both of them short distances, and we hit a play on each one of them to make it work.
They show pressure again. Bears just run a toss sweep, running left. Mitchell follows his blockers, cuts, spins.
He should have
close to the first down.
Let's see where the spot is. He's got it.
First down, Bears.
He got it.
They convert on a 3rd and 11. DeQuaid Mitchell gains 12.
That's good enough.
And again, a play we haven't seen.
Yeah, quick
that was
toss.
it was kind of like somewhere between a toss sweep and a quick pitch, and it worked perfectly. We had guys out in front, and Jaquay Mitchell does what he always does. He cut back to pick up the first. If he runs out of bounds, we don't get the first down.
Custom design group, 12-yard first down for the Bears. 40 now of Miles. Clock running, 10:45. The rain is picked up again. Bears on top here. They run option left. Mitchell trying to cut back. He goes down. Loss on the play. Back to the 44. They had that play snuffed out.
Right, we cannot fool them. I tell you, the only play we fooled them with was the bootleg down on the goal line. And, you know, it worked so well with the receiver, but there were 3 people on Grayson Willingham when he threw that ball. He could not have run for a yard. He would have lost yardage if it had been a run. So, you know, this defense is impressive. I'll tell you that right now.
2nd and long now for the Bears.
We need to pick up about 7 or 8, get it back. I don't know if we're in 4-down territory now. If the rain's starting to pick back up, you never know how that'll affect the ball. But if we can get back within, 7 or 8 yards with 2 downs, we might have a shot.
Here's a run. Carter sweeping right, far side.
Flag.
And he's still running inside the 40 down to the 38. We'll see if the
flag's
flag's
about. Did I see a flag come flying in
either
there?
that or a towel. I wasn't sure.
Okay, must be. I don't see the official.
I saw something as well.
Yeah. Something looked like it flew through the air down there, but they got it down to about 3rd and 8, 3rd and 8, 7, 3rd and 7. Yeah.
So it was an 8-yard. It was a 7-yard pickup. 3rd and 7 now. Ball's at the 37. Bears need to get down to the 30. Ball's on the far right hash.
He had Ryan Carter open last time. If he
back
can
to
hit
pass,
him.
Cross the middle. Mitchell's nearly spin out of there. Took the reception, tried to spin away from the tackler, and got tripped up side the first down to the 33-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th and 3. Looks like the Bears this time will go for it. They send in Young and Ramsor along with Lester.
That's a terrible spot. Daggone.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He was almost 1.5 yards, 2 yards ahead when he fell where that ball is marked.
Crowd's letting them know as well.
I really don't think that would change Coach's mind right here. I think Coach Connick would go for it either way. As long as it wasn't 4th and 8, 9, something. Got one-on-one out here.
4th and 4.
Bears call timeout.
Bears on top here, 21-0. We'll keep it here, 8:45 to go. Thanks for listening to Lenoir-Rhyne football. We'll take a station identification. Your score, Lenoir-Rhyne 21 and Miles College 0. You're listening to Bear Football powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get
A couple of scores now. Blowing Rock Brewery scoreboard. West Florida now leading Wingate 24-3. Big surprise, that game being played down at Wingate.
Yeah, I don't know if the conditions down there are bad, because that is that's a regular field, grass field.
Bears go for it. They're going to run an option. There's all kind of space. Mitchell at the 35-30, stiff arm down to the 25. They ran a lead option over here in front of the LR bench. Picked up 9, goes to the key playmaker for the Bears this season, Jaquay Mitchell, the all-conference running back, gets the first down.
And that play, we had run it before, and they had people out there. This time the defensive back was there. Jaquay Mitchell made a little juke move in and out and got to the outside and outran him for the first down. And again, just what Jaquay Mitchell has done all year. I mean, he just makes plays for the Bears, just like Sherrod Williams has on defense.
This time they give it to Stevens, takes it up the middle between the two hashes, head down, dives forward and down to the 16, close to another Bear first down. It means Stevens. They do get it. 10 yards and another custom design group first down. Bears quickly. Ball on the left hash, under center Willingham. Turn, hands it off. Stevens running right again, drives forward down inside the 15. So the old thing is, Jack, sometimes when you have these quick defenses, instead of running wide, you just run right at them and it works.
I agree. We inside from tackle to tackle, we've had more success. Now, we have not given it up getting it outside, and we have gotten it outside. And I noticed 84 is in there. He's been in there several plays now. Dom Maggio.
Yeah, he's one of 4 tight ends the Bears have used this year.
The coach loves to use the tight ends now. He uses them a lot of situations.
They move some guys around. Brooks goes to the right-hand side. They got 2 tight ends in there now. 1 running back, handoff Stevens, and he's met on 2nd and about 6, right at the line of scrimmage. He may gain a yard. He gets it back to the center of the field. It's 3rd down and 6, 7:20. Rolling clock before halftime. LR leading 21-0 here. Jumped on top of Miles early on and have led throughout here the first half.
And the conditions may get worse in the second half. We don't know, but I think this is a big drive for the Bears to get up 28-0. And then if the conditions get bad, anytime it's bad and you're behind by 4 scores, it makes it tough to try to catch up.
Here comes Willingham under center. Bears overloaded left. They run left. This is Young trying to sweep left. Breaks a tackle inside the 10. Down to about the 8. He's going to be shy of the first down. They're going to mark it at the 9. It's going to bring up 4th and about 2.
Well, this is an interesting situation now. Do you go field goal? Yep.
They're going to send out the field goal unit. Elba and Owen will be the holder. Holden Strawn will be the long snapper. And Chase Elba, all-conference kicker.
And say, here's where the Bears are shorter man. There he comes. So, sometimes when you have to put personnel in there, I don't know if these are the same guys that played there all the time during the regular season or not, but you have to be aware of that.
It'll be a 27-yard kick from the left hash. Opened end here at Moret Stadium. Their guy was offside. Bears fake it. Owen looking right.
Throw it
He's
away.
trying to throw it in the end zone. And a flag down at the last second. Was that guy not offside? He was, so it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, ain't no question about that. He was at least 5 yards offside.
So there's a flag in the end zone as well.
I'm not
Is that
sure.
Pass interference?
Yeah.
Or an illegal man downfield?
There's no telling.
It's a mess. There's no telling.
Hey, I'm going to tell you one thing. That some of the most exciting plays in the world are fake extra points. And that wasn't a fake on purpose. That's why you don't know what's going to happen. Now, the only bad thing is it could be offsetting penalties. If it's offsetting penalties,
you get to do it again.
Well, no, what should have happened there instead, I was saying throw the ball. He should not have thrown the ball. There would have been no flag. There wouldn't have been anybody downfield if he'd have just run with the ball. But he didn't know that. That's a coaching point you'll find out about next year. They'll go over that in their special teams meetings.
See what the penalty is. 2 fouls. Offside against Miles.
Ineligible downfield.
No, they're both against Miles. Holding against Miles. So automatic first down for the Bears.
Holy crap.
You said there was no telling.
Well, I felt like it probably, but you coach your linemen anytime there's I'm not a fake, but anytime there's a fumble snap and you're going to do that, you tell your linemen just stay there and block at the line of scrimmage. Don't leave. Don't go downfield because that may happen. The Bears get a big break right there.
1st and goal makes up for that one bad call early on the kickoff.
The offsides would have put the ball in the same place they are now anyway. Half the distance to the goal.
Makes up for that inadvertent whistle.
Yep.
Bears have it 1st and goal. Ball's at the 4 in the center of the football field. Fumbled snap. Willingham falls on it. Second time here in the first half that's happened.
I'll tell you who it won't make up for is that the official that blew that inadvertent whistle. I can tell you that.
Fans just tuning in. Bears lead 21-0. We're down to the final 6 minutes of the first half. LR jumped out early in this game. And Miles College, their opponent this afternoon, they have about 20 yards of offense and no first downs here in the first half against that very sturdy, staunch Lenoir-Rhyne Black Rain defense. 2nd down. Ball's at the 6. Call a loss of 2 now. Still in the center of the field. Grayson under center. Turns, hands it off. Mitchell running left, met at the line of scrimmage and is knocked down quickly. So bringing up 3rd and goal now. No gain. 3rd and goal for the Bears. Trying to run and score a touchdown going to the opened end here at Moret Stadium in front of the scoreboard. Wingate trailing big time to West Florida. Both
even more big time. It's 31-3.
Wow. Wingate coming in 16th ranked in the nation. West Florida was 20th ranked. And on the road. Winning big. Back to pass. Grayson throws across the middle. Intercepted by the big defensive lineman. He threw right into the hands of either a lineman or a linebacker. That is number 54, DeAndre McCurry. I believe the junior from Birmingham, defensive lineman, gets the interception. Wow, there's a quick turnaround for the defense.
The guy
Miles.
the guy he was throwing the ball to was right behind him. He was just going to lob it over that guy's head, and he just didn't get it over his head. The guy, you could see it clearly. The guy was wide open behind him. It was one of the tight ends sort of dragging across, and he just didn't get the ball over the guy's head to get it to him.
This time of play, and it's fumbled back there and hit hard. The Bears knock him down. That's Robinson and Houston.
Yeah, great play.
Great play in this backfield, back to about the 3.
Yeah, the Bears need to get a quick
flag down.
Yeah.
See what the flag is about here.
Well, the flag's way out wide out there, so there's no telling what it is. But the Bears need to get a quick stop right here because they have dominated this game. Only to be up 21-0 would really not be good for the Bears.
It is against Miles, half the distance. Wide receiver offside. I believe they're back with their starting quarterback.
Well, they got to put the ball backwards. See, they penalized them anyway.
Third quarterback in there now for Miles, number 16, Trayvon Grant.
Yeah, we refuse the penalty. It's supposed to be second down.
Bears nearly have a safety. They might get it. Nope, no. They're going to get out to the 1-yard line. As the running back that time, Dante Edwards met in the backfield.
We got a real foul up now. He declined that penalty. The referee said decline, and they penalized it anyway and put it first down. I don't understand that. Did you not see him do that? He came out and gave the decline sign.
So it's...
If you're listening to us on the radio and watching the stream, we're a little bit behind. I'm watching it here, and maybe you'll be able to see it when that play's over. But
the scoreboard says
decline.
Yeah, scoreboard says third down. The chains say second.
Now they're getting together. See, now they've got to come back and figure this thing out. They screwed up about 2 plays ago. Now I don't think there's a heck of a lot they can do about it.
So new quarterback in, Trayvon Grant for Miles.
Look at here. Look. He waved it off. He said it was declined. And then they went ahead and penalized. See, it should have been first down at the 6.
So it is third down.
They moved it back to the 3.
So the chain gang over there.
No, it's second down.
No.
Yeah, the first play they ran after the penalty was where we almost tackled a guy in the end zone.
Still says third down up there.
Coach Cronick said but they didn't count the first down. He declined the penalty, but they did not. They marked the penalty off and kept it at first down over there. It's another foul up by the officials here. That's communication there.
Bears on top 21-0. They sorted out. West Florida leading Wingate 31-3. And Bowie State leading Carson Newman.
Still 9-7.
9-7 in the first half.
And that had to be a safety because remember it was 7-7.
Yeah.
Ooh, Carson Newman 17. Bowie 9. It's in the fourth quarter.
So they operate out of their own end zone, and here's a safety. This time the Bears tackle him down. Preston Joseph tackles him along with Robinson in the secondary or in the end zone, and the Bears get a safety.
Great job by the Bear defense.
Wow.
Miles, as good as they have been on defense, they're just that bad on offense right now. I mean, it's been a struggle. It really has.
No first downs.
Their defense has played marvelous. I mean, we got 2 touchdowns against them, and we had to work like the dickens to earn both of those. We've had it down there in their territory the entire game and only have 2 touchdowns. Now the defense has scored 9. Let's give defense 9 of the 23 points, and the offense too. So, great ball game by the Miles defense, but boy, their offense right now is inept to say the least.
About 15 total yards of offense and no first downs in the first half with 4 minutes and 7 seconds left. Bears get a safety lead here 23-0. So again, some scoring updates.
Let me give them to you right here because I'm trying to write them down as fast as I can. All right, Shepherd, Indiana trails Shepherd 31-27. All right, Kutztown 33, Tipton 31, Westchester behind. Notre Dame leads 31-24. Carson Newman leads in the fourth quarter 17-9, and in the fourth quarter, West Florida all over Wingate 31-3, and that's a real shock. That means West Florida will go to play Valdosta next week.
Rematch.
Conference opponents.
Yeah, they rematch.
Well,
a close game the first time they played.
Well, and if it stays the way it is right now, Carson Newman would come here.
Yeah.
So it would be the Gulf South Conference with two teams playing each other, and the South Atlantic Conference with two teams playing each other.
Which is, I think, exactly what they would want.
Yeah.
So here come after the safety. Miles will kick off at their own 20. High kick. Mitchell will field it at his own 25. Running right across the 40, up near midfield, knocked down at about the 49. So Jaquay Mitchell gets a 24-yard return, and the Bear offense, which has been operating all on this side of the field or at near midfield, gets another shot with 4 minutes left, leading here 23-0.
Defensive tackle DeAndre McCurry, who's made a cut. The play right before the interception down there, Juju, he's the one that made that tackle back there too. That defense, they don't have a lot of big guys. They're number 49, the defensive tackles, Kadarius Roberts, he's 275. The rest of their defensive linemen are 250 or under. They're a little like us. They're smaller, but they're quicker. And I tell you, they've been hard to block.
Stevens running right, has a hole, breaks a tackle, first down, and into the secondary, down to the 35 goes Amin Stevens. They'll mark it to the 31, so call it about a 20-yard pickup for the Bears. Sophomore fullback, all-conference performer. Ball's now back up to the 31, marking on the right hash. Bears under center.
Yeah, they gave him the old, we're running left, no, we're going to the right.
Mitchell has it, follows his blockers, 20, 15, down to the 10, sidesteps a couple of men. He'll take it inside the 10, down to the 6 goes Jaquay Mitchell. Back-to-back runs, and the Bears have it first and goal.
I tell you, he's an excellent back. He does so many different things well for the Bears. He catches the football. He runs the football. He's not a great blocker because he's not very big, but he's an adequate blocker. And the Bears just utilize his talent so well.
And following all-conference performer Jason Poe over there. Do it again. When you have the football, you run right, guys, and behind your all-conference and Jacobs blocking trophy lineman Jason Poe, they did it 3 times. And the Bears have it now second and goal at the 3-yard line. Amin Stevens, 2 carries now. He's back in there. They turn it, hand it to him again. He's met Stonewall right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I mean, he didn't even that was a domination right there on that side. And, you know, you're talking about Jason Poe and Ian Clifton right beside him. He's kind of unsung. Been in there every game. He and Poe started every game in the same 2 positions, giving the Bears some stability in the offensive line. And Big 73's got a pretty good-sized cast on one hand, I just noticed. First time I've seen that.
Yeah, and Ronnie Clifton is all-conference performer. He's over there on the right tackle, replacing Brinson.
Yeah,
Next
that's
to
Clifton.
Jason
That's
Poe.
right, 73.
Quick drop pass, tip, incomplete. Trying to get it over here to Derek Young on a quick pass, but they got a hand up and tipped it away. 4th and goal now for the Bears.
Got to go field goal again. I tell you, this defense is just marvelous. I hate to keep praising them, but to be down like they're down and to have an offense that can't pick up a first down, and you just come out there and play your butt off, and they gave up a couple of runs to get the ball back down here. Then the next thing you know, they're forcing us to kick a field goal. Great defensive effort.
Albot will line it up now.
Don't
take the snap at the 12. It'll be a 22-yard kick.
Don't get offsides.
4th and goal. Snaps good. Holds good. Kick is high enough, and it is good. Splits the sticks. Does Chase Alba, and the Bears tack on 3 more. Your score, it's Lenoir-Rhyne 26 and Miles nothing. Back in the flash. You're listening to LR Football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Quality work that's on time.
NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion
That's Blowing Rock Draft House and Brewery is walking distance from Lenoir-Rhyne's campus at the intersection of Highland Avenue and Lenoir-Rhyne Boulevard in our newly renovated Holler Mill location. Honor the craft with a toast to our Bears at Blowing Rock Draft House and Brewery. And go Bears!
Bears lead here now 26-0. We have some scouts out there watching that Wingate game for us, Jack. And they're saying right now it is heavily raining down there at Wingate, and the quarterback for the Bulldogs, Shaw Crocker, really struggling in the rain with turnovers.
Yeah,
one reason why they're trailing 31-3, thanks to Paul Bullock for that update.
Well, I was going to say the reason when the score's popping up that quick, you almost know automatically it's turnovers. They could have returned a couple of those for touchdowns. A couple of interceptions and run them back, because this score turned over real quick on the computer, and it normally doesn't do that. It's normally slow to react.
1st and 10 now. Miles looking for their first down here in the first half. 2:21 to go. They got another quarterback in there, number 10 back in. He'll turn and hand it off. Running is Edwards, trying to cut the corner, and Landon Scott horse collars him, wrestles him down over the 30 up to about the 33. You're right, Mike McCree, 8-yard pickup. Best offensive play of the first half for Miles. 2nd down and short.
Boy, I tell you, Coach Cole didn't like that either. He took Landon Scott over here real quick, talking to him. Put P.J. Palmer in there.
2nd and short now. This time they hand it off to Edwards. He gets the first down.
There you go.
And the Bears meet him as Luba.
1 minute, 49 seconds to go. Mark that down.
Indeed. And get a little bit of a cheer there. First down of the football game for Miles. Dante Edwards picks it up, and he has to go off the field. His helmet popped off, and I can see why. His hair goes all the way down to his backside.
21 yards rushing, 4 yards passing, 25 yards total offense right now.
Wow. 1st and 10 now for Miles. Ball is at the 37. Handoff again. Running left on the stretch play. First down again. Running out of bounds. Stepping out is Justin Ruiz, the junior out of Atlanta. Picks up another first down, and all of a sudden Miles into LR territory at the 48.
Yeah, and Eric Jackson, an all-conference safety, he undercut that. He ran inside, and the guy just ran around him, and he was just standing there looking at air. When he got there, that's just that's poor defense. I think the Bears are a little lackadaisical right here.
Here comes another run.
Now that's more like football we've seen today.
Yep, Dante Edwards.
Well, you're up 26-0. You pretty much dominated. You think, okay, we're just going to kind of cruise on in here and see what happens. And all of a sudden, then they're not going to throw the ball. They've not been able to throw it successfully. They're going to run the football, and kind of took the Bears, I think, a little bit surprised, because the defensive backs especially were laying back a little bit, giving them a little room.
LeJon Cordier out of Louisiana, the quarterback now, 3rd quarterback for Miles. They run the stretch play, running right. Not much running room on 2nd and 9. Bears stuff him.
Dan Luba
on the tackle, gain of 1, 3rd and 8. Player getting up slow, one of the offensive linemen for the Golden Bears. Meeting of Bears this afternoon. Right guard or right tackle, number 76, is up. He's going to stay in there.
The Bears will lose off this front. They'll lose Shaquan Artist. But just about everybody back, including a lot of those backups, got a lot of playing time behind them. I don't know if we have anybody as good as Shaquan Artist to take his place, but defensively in that front four, the Bears should be pretty good next year.
Back to pass. Cordier scrambling. He's going to get sacked. Goes down. Horn along with Hayes. Twin H's for the Bears. Timeout, Lenoir-Rhyne. They get their 2nd sack of the first half. And the Bears will force again their 8th punt coming up for Miles College here in the first half. I'm not sure I've seen 8 punts in one half in a college football game.
It's
wow.
It's interesting too, Juju, that the Bears call timeout with 16 seconds to go. I'm not sure, unless we're going to go for the block, not sure we'll have time to do much. I didn't realize the clock had gotten down that far, but they weren't going to stop it anymore.
Shame on me. This is going to be their 9th punt. Thanks, Mike. Hey, we blocked one earlier. Let's see if we can block one again.
28 yards of total offense, 12 yards rushing, 4 yards passing is what we're showing. Stan, let me update that, because this computer's not updating automatically. I'm having to manually do that. Well,
47-yard line is the place. Bears on top, 26-0. Final 15 seconds
Bears have
first half.
181 yards rushing, 22 passing for 203. Bears don't have a ton of offense compared to what we're seeing, although we do have 181 rushing. But, this defensive team probably has played as well as anybody against us.
Well, if we have 181 yards rushing, that's double what they usually give up.
Yeah, exactly. More than that. You're right.
Yeah.
85, I think.
Fitz will kick it away. 9th punt of the first half, and it's going to just take a roll. I think LR tried to go for the block, and it's going to roll out of bounds inside the 20 with 6 seconds left. 6 seconds in the first half. Bears are going to go to the break, leading in this first round NCAA Division II playoff game. And if things stand up, Lenoir-Rhyne will be back home Thanksgiving weekend for the second year in a row, hosting the winner between Carson Newman and Bowie. Right now it's a close game with Carson Newman on the road, leading at Bowie. Low-scoring game, 9-7 at last update.
17-9. No, Carson Newman, 17-9, fourth quarter. Yeah, Carson Newman scored 8 points somehow.
Touchdown, 2-point conversion.
No, scored 10 points, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Scored 10 points.
Bears take a knee, go to the half. Rain continues to fall, and the Bears are leading here. Halftime, your score, Lenoir-Rhyne 26 and Miles College nothing. Stay with us. We'll be back with our halftime show from Moretz Stadium on the campus of Lenoir-Rhyne University. Thanks for listening. Juju Phillips with Jack Huss and Mike McCree. All afternoon, here this afternoon, Bears football. This is Lenoir-Rhyne football powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Quality work that's on time.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing.
You got 44 players, and you got to think about, okay, I got 2 kickers and a snapper, so you're up to 47. That only leaves you 11 players to fill in the rest of your spots. Now, the Bears are only dressing 2 quarterbacks today, which was, something that surprised me a little bit because we know we've seen it go through quarterbacks in the Wishbone days. We've gone through 3 in one game, but we don't run Grayson Willingham, and Gunner will run a little more, but we don't run the quarterback quite as much. And we could just get him in there if we got a lead and hand off and not run him or make him susceptible to any hits where he might get hurt.
Bears jumped out here early in the first 2 minutes of the ball game. Jaquay Mitchell on a 21-yard run. They followed that up in the first quarter. Midway through, Trey Luttrell fielded a ball and recovered a fumble in the end zone after a blocked punt. Made the score 14-0 in favor of the Bears. Tacked on another touchdown in the second quarter. Grayson Willingham found Josh Ramsor on a 6-yard pass, completing a 4-play, 40-yard drive. Bears led 21-0. They added a safety by Travis Robinson in the second quarter and tacked on a field goal late by Chase Albaugh, 22-yarder. So 26-0 in favor of the Bears. We are at halftime. We'll step aside, come back with some first half stats. We'll look at the scores around the NCAA Division II playoffs, and we'll take a look into Lenoir-Rhyne history. We'll hear from one of the great Bears of the past, defensive back Michael Green, who's playing professional football these days in the Arena League. We'll hear his thoughts on what Lenoir-Rhyne is doing and what he has been doing as well since he played here for the Bears as of 2013. So plenty to do here at halftime. Your score, Lenoir-Rhyne 26 and Miles College nothing. You're listening to Bear Football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what
second round coming off the first round bye, it was like, man, no team has faced a triple option like us or Carson Newman. So it was like, if we get past Carson Newman, it's going to be an easy run. Because, hey, if you're not disciplined, you're not going to stop the triple option. And with the speed and just the discipline that we had on our offense, we knew that, once we got past, if we could help them get past the second round, they're going to take us all the way. And they did.
Coaching staff back then, it was a close-knit group in terms of the coaching staff as well as the players. What do you remember about that staff?
Man, I remember everything. Coach Houston, that's like another father to me. Coach Thompson, Coach Boyd. Coach Boyd workouts was crazy, but it got us in shape. Coach Tess is just doing a great job with the D-line. It's just from there on, everything was great. It was just like everything just came together that year for us.
That is Michael Green. He talked about Jack. He thought the Bears were going to make a run after they played Carson Newman in the second round of the playoffs, and 6 years later we may be doing that again.
It's great to be back in that and have that opportunity. As I said earlier, you work all the time, during the off season, during the preseason, during the season, working up to getting to this point. Now, what you do from this point on is really the fairy tale part of the game, because there's only I can't tell you how many Division II teams are. You may know the exact number.
167.
167. Okay, and they took 4 regions, 7 each, so only 28 made the playoff. And after this weekend, there'll be 14 left. So that to advance beyond the first, the second, the third, those rounds, I mean, it's like gravy on the mashed potatoes. You know, you love it, but you work so hard to get to this point. And you know, there are teams. You know, we kind of like to line ourselves a little bit thinking about Northwest Missouri. They kind of get there every year, it seems. You know, and that's a team that you know, they go into it thinking beyond that. But the Bears had never thought really much beyond that since the late 50s and early 60s until, you know, 13, 14 along in there when we started making a little making a little noise in the playoffs, and now we're back in the position to do the same thing.
As we look at the playoffs, that was Michael Green, Bear All-American, defensive back, outstanding punt returner, played for Lenoir-Rhyne, graduated in 2014, and he's playing professional football in the Arena League right now and has been doing that for the last 6 years. Now on the scoreboard, our Blowing Rock Brewery scoreboard, some upsets in the making. West Florida leading Wingate big, 38-10, the game in the second half, fourth quarter. 20th ranked West Florida. Wingate was ranked 16th, and they were on the road. Wingate at home, losing by 4 touchdowns. Carson Newman leading Bowie State 17-9 in the fourth quarter. You have an update there, Jack?
No, I keep punching it because Carson Newman would be our next opponent, or Bowie State will be our next opponent here if we can hang on to a 26-0 lead. And, you know, if Miles doesn't generate some offense, me and you and Mike may be able to go down there and hold them on.
Shepherd on top, and they defeat Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Shepherd was 25th in the nation. IUP was 18th, and they win at IUP 31-27. Kutztown leading Tiffin 33-31 at home.
That's a final.
It's a final score. Kutztown wins, 17th ranked, knocks off 19th ranked Tiffin. Boy, that was an even matchup, and it mentioned in the scoreboard as well, 33-31 in favor of Kutztown. Notre Dame holds off Westchester at Notre Dame today, 31-24. So 13th ranked Notre Dame College knocks off 22nd ranked Westchester to move on for the next round. Games are underway this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Northwest Missouri, as you mentioned, Ouachita Baptist playing, and Tarleton State ranked 3rd in the country. All those teams playing at home this afternoon. Here, 26-0 in favor of the Bears. Final stages of the first half. We'll come back and set the stage for the kickoff of the second half. Once again, your score, Bears on top. The good guys lead 26-0 over Miles College. Back with more. This is LR Football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Got some more millions that keep me alive. I created history, it made me alive. He tried to diss me and it don't fall. We call them chocolate cause they gonna chop. Took her out of dollars cause they pop. I run it like Nike, we got it on lock. Cardiac, I'm the boss man in a suit with no tie. I can't be sober, I gotta stay high. Put me so surf in the ground and the dry. Riding the pressure like Bunny and Clyde. Don't worry, baby, I keep me so fine. She not anything burger, she can't have the guy. The ladies, Mercedes, will go to surprise. Don't sleep on me, lady, her pretty up right. Picking up back while I'm gripping her thigh. Kicking back, this ain't regular side. Really cloudy like Pelican guy. She ain't slick, I can tell her this guy. Let my wrist put her dance in the sky. She sing I might sign her head, check on her line. I turn on the cargo and work on her high. Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Straight to the city, I broke up the night. Got some more millions, I keep me alive. I created history, it made me alive. He tried to diss me and it don't pop. We call them chocolate cause they go to chop. Took a lot of dollars cause they pop. I run it like Nike, we got it on lock. Money,
For your joint pain, they could leave you.
Back here moments away from the start of the second half. Bears on top here. 26-0. Jack, you got some updates on the stats. We haven't mentioned them, brought to you by Custom Design Group as Jack looks at the first half stats.
Well, the stats are exactly what you would think they would be. the Bears dominated from the standpoint of statistically. 31 rushes, 182 yards for the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne. The Golden Bears of Miles College, had 21 rushes for 34 yards. The Bears threw completions for 22 yards. Not a great day passing for the Bears, although one touchdown. And Miles completed one pass for 4 yards. And so the Bears, they were 1 of 8 throwing. The Bears were 3 of 8, so not a lot of passing in the game. The Bears 204 total offense. Total offense for Miles was 38 yards. They got 2 first downs, and both of those came late in the first half on runs when, again, the Bears were kind of sitting back waiting for some kind of a passing game, and it never materialized. The Bears had 16:32 of offense, and Miles had 13:28. A little bit closer maybe in the time of possession than you would think. The Bears on third down, Juju, were 1 of 8. And, of course, on third down, Miles was 0 of 8 because both of their first downs came on in 2 running plays.
So the Bears are going to get the ball to start the second half as Miles will kick off. They're kicking left to right to the gym side here at Moret Stadium. Again, Miles, historically black school located in Birmingham, Alabama. And here's the kick. It's one of those pooch kicks. High kick. Bears are going to field it.
Warren Bell
fumbles the football, falls on it at the 31. Warren Bell gets it. So the Bears have it. Thank you, Mike. First down and 10 for LR. Grayson Willingham will bring the offense out. He'll start at quarterback. And the junior, 23 touchdowns this season, including one in the first half, completing 61% of his passes, up close to over 1,800 yards. They'll start with Amin Stevens, who had a fine first half, 82 yards on the ground for the Bears sophomore fullback. Ryan Jefferson will start at center. Ronnie Clifton will be at, Clifton's out there, and he's going to start along with Heidinger up front for
Tate Beaver's in there at fullback, too.
Beaver will get the start the second half, and here comes Mitchell on the left-hand side.
Wow.
Check that, Ryan Carter. He's sweeping left, and he is hit hard pretty good. Pickup of a short yardage of 2. Second down and 8. Ball's placed at the 33.
That's a great play by the defensive back, Mitchell Smiley. He's a linebacker, 5'11", 205. Their linebackers can really run. They got some folks back there that can fly. And looked like we were going to turn that ball up and make some yardage. The Bears have not been able to block them. And sometimes it's been because they've come from the backside. Number 24, the back then, the linebacker came all the way from the backside to make that play.
Second and 9, gain of 1. They shift left. Heidinger goes in, shifts to the left. They send a man in motion. They run a play straight up the middle. This is the big fullback, Stevens, over the 40-yard line, spins forward, has the first down. 45 goes Amin Stevens, pickup of about 14. And the Bears get a custom design group first down. Amin Stevens up close to 100 yards on the ground.
What the Bears offense does, it's based on the wing tee. And we give you one look. We gave them the jet sweep look and then ran a little counter trap back to the backside, and it popped for big yardage like there. That's what's so hard to defense our offense. We give you so many different looks and we strike across a broad front in a lot of different ways.
3 down linemen. They put about 6 in the box. They give it to Stevens again. Tries to hop over a man and throw him backwards. He'll get it up to the 47, gain of 2. Second and 8 now, just underway, second half. Bears leading here 26-0. First round NCAA Division II playoff game. Bears are 6-4 in the playoffs since they began this decade. 2012, winningest private college or university Division II football this decade. How about that in the playoffs?
As it should be.
Play action. Willingham rolling right out on the flat, incomplete. Had a man open over there. He was under some pressure and underthrew the wide receiver, Derek Young, incomplete, 3rd and 8.
Grayson has held on to the ball today a couple of times too long. He just the number 1, Ryan Carter, was out there just from the very get-go. He was in Derek Young, he was in the flat wide open, and Grayson kind of held the ball for a second, and then under pressure he underthrew him, and that was going to be good yardage right there if he just flips the ball to him. Normally Grayson makes his decisions quicker. He's holding on the ball a little bit too long today. Needs to let it fly.
Back to pass this time on 3rd and 8, and he throws it out of bounds. Actually, it's caught by Mitchell, and he makes a move and knocked out of bounds, shy the first down.
Going to lose a yard. That's a complete pass for a yard loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a complete.
The Bears offensively, outside, we've had a couple of good series where we took the ball, but other than that, the Bears haven't been very good offensively as they normally are, and that is closing drives. Again, we were at halftime, I think I told you we were 1 of 8. Now we're 1 of 9 on third down conversions.
Again, Miles came in with the 13th ranked defense in the nation today.
And, Carson Newman or Bowie State, whoever we would play next week, will look at this video and they'll say, But, they don't have the players that Miles has either. They've got good defensive teams, I'm sure. We know Carson Newman's got a good football team.
Here's the punt by Owen. Takes a roll out of bounds deep into Miles' territory at the 16.
So again, offensively, the Bears have not been sharp. Like I said, Grayson's held on to the ball a little bit too long sometimes, and we have not been able to sustain blocks long enough for our ball carriers. Now, we've popped some good plays, and that's a good thing, but we have not finished. Normally, when we get the ball down inside the 20, we finish. Today, we have not been able to do that.
Bears have been excellent in the red zone this year. 88% have scored one way or another. Here's a running play straight up the middle. Edwards will take the handoff from the quarterback, LeJohn Cordier, the senior out of New Orleans. Miles came into this game a little bit struggling on offense. They've used 3 quarterbacks already today, and Cordier is started as his second-team quarterback, and he'll start the second half, gain of 2, 2nd and 8. He'll come out of the shotgun. Edwards, the leading rusher, to his left. They got 4 receivers out, 2 to each side. Pumps. Fires, caught, complete to the 20, and ripped and tackled at the 24. This time is Antonio Evans, and he'll get shy of the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short now for the Golden Bears. Ball's at the 24. They need to get to the 26.
They had 2 receivers standing there almost within 2 yards of each other. Both of them ran the same route right together. Bears need to make a stop right here.
They'll send the same formation. 2 receivers to both sides. They're kind of stacked over there, twins left and right. Ball's on the left hash. Cordier gets the play from the sidelines and is in the shotgun, actually the pistol. He'll line up at his own 19. He got a back right behind him. That's Edwards. Cordier takes the snap, across the middle, dropped. They ran a quick slant across the middle, went through the receivers. It may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, but Tyree dropped the football, so it's going to bring up another punt, the 10th punt of this football game for Miles.
Boy, right here, he would love to go for it, but he just can't do it. And I'm a little shocked, to be honest with you. They had made some good yardage on first down running the ball. I thought we might see that big tailback just plowing straight ahead. He's made a few yards running inside, but no chance to make it, so they went to the pass, and the guy dropped it. I mean, he just flat dropped it.
So 4th down, the punter will stand back at his own 8. Fitch will kick it away.
Big time.
Line drive kick. Take a nice roll for Miles. And the Bears will start at about the 32. Not the best field position. That's normally good field position, but the Bears have had the ball near midfield almost the entire football game. Leading here 26-0. They'll get their second possession for a second half. Again, Jefferson, Clifton, Poe, Brinson, Heidinger has been up there as well on the offensive line. Amin Stevens is up close to 100 yards on the ground today, the sophomore all-conference running back from Savannah.
We haven't seen Warren Bell very much in there today.
He's in there now.
Yeah, he's in there now. Beaver came in a while ago, and I think Beaver came in there to block on that little jet sweep we ran early on.
Bears will have 4 receivers.
They line up a little. Now they shift back the other way.
2 tight ends in there now. They send a man in motion. They hand it to Young, sweeping left, cutting the corner. He is met and pushed out of bounds at the 35. Should get about a 3-yard pickup that time, but Miles again coming over, a little jawing over there. Number 53 making some noise. Cameron Sneed, the defensive end, a freshman out of Macon, Georgia.
Number 24, that defensive back we talked about a while ago. He was giving the Bears a hard time over there, but I tell you what, he was blocked, and then he slipped off of it and got out there and made the play. That play looked like it was going to go for 15 yards at least. And all of a sudden, number 24, Mitchell Smiley, came from nowhere.
Listed as a sophomore linebacker. They run up the middle, Stevens, and no running room for the Bears sophomore fullback. He maybe get to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 7 now. Bears trying to get some offense going here, leading 26-0. We played 5 minutes of the third quarter. It's been raining off and on, raining now here at Moretz Stadium. Crowd has thinned out a little bit here in the second half, but it's still trying to make some noise here.
Yeah, 3rd down and 7 for the Bears. You know, it's just kind of been a strange game for the Bears offensively. We had a couple of series we looked great on, but other than that, there's been a lot of 3 and outs, and we're 3 for 9 on 3rd downs, or 1 for 9, excuse me.
Going to run an option. Willingham will keep it, and he's fumbled the football. Hit hard, knocked loose. And recovering the football is Miles. Their big turnover here this afternoon. Number 37, Braxton Harris, a junior defensive back out of Jasper, Alabama, gets the fumble recovery after Willingham coughed it up on the keeper.
Wow. I tell you what, he just got hit and the ball came out. That's all there was to it.
Yeah.
That was a contact fumble. It wasn't the weather didn't cause that. Now, I don't think it's really raining that much. It might be a light mist out there, but we've been able to play the football game pretty much without the conditions having anything to do with the course of this football game.
Cordier now the quarterback. Again, 4 receivers, 2 to each side. In the pistol. Takes the snap. Stretch play. Running right is Edwards. Has a hole. 25, 20. He's going to go in. 5 and touchdown. Dante Edwards on the stretch play. Running right. Cut back to the middle of the field and went untouched. 38 yards. And for the first time today, one play, 38 yards. And for the first time, Miles gets on the scoreboard. It's now 26-6 with 9:36 to go in the 3rd quarter.
The Bears really got caught there. They had to go man-to-man in the secondary. They ran a double stunt. They stunted both linebackers inside against the run, and the run went a little outside. Then when he popped, there was nobody in the middle of the field because all the defensive backs were outside covering wide receivers in man-to-man, so it was an easy touchdown.
Extra point is up and good. 26-7. Miles gets on the board. Take a timeout here in the second half. Bears lead. Your score, Lenoir-Rhyne 26 and Miles College 7. This is LR Football, powered by Carolina West.
NCAA Division II Community Engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create.
Honor the craft with a toast to our Bears at Blowing Rock Draft House and Brewery, and go Bears.
Back here, Juju Phillips, Jack Huss. Let's see if it's a momentum change as Miles gets on the board. 26-7. They kick off, and the Bears call for a fair catch. Tate Beaver gets the fair catch, and the Bear offense will now get the ball at the 27, 28-yard line here. See if they get some offense going. Leading here 26-7, but again, not much doing in the second half for LR on offense. They'll come out. Grayson Willingham stays in at quarterback, and they'll have Starks in there tight end. Mitchell and Beaver checks in at fullback now for the Bears. 2 men in the backfield. Willingham under center. They hand it off tackle. This is Mitchell running left, cuts back, spins, gets over the 30 up to about the 32. Gain of 5 on the play. Jaquay Mitchell following the block of Tate Beaver. So that was an old-fashioned wing T look. They had a fullback and a halfback there.
Well, and the guy that makes the play is number 54. He's been all over the place. DeAndre McCurry. He's a junior, 6'1", 250 pounds. He reminds me of the defensive lineman like Amari Houston that we have in Dan Luba. He was in the backfield almost at the snap, and he hit Mitchell. Mitchell was able to make 4 yards with just great running.
Stevens running with the ball, gets over the 35. Shy of the first down, but it means Stevens going off tackle. Gain of 3, 3rd and 2 now for the Bears. They need to get up to the 38, actually 3rd and 2. They mark it at the 36, 3rd and long 2 for LR. Ball's on the right hash.
Yeah, one of the things you don't want to do is let a team like this hang around. You know, we've been in control of this game pretty much since the kickoff score-wise, but we've not been in control of this game on the football field. We need to take that control on the football field because their defense has started to do that.
Quick pitch running left. Bears get the first down. Nice run by Cal Dickey, the freshman running back, with the quick pitch. Second time we've seen that play today, and that's a custom design group first down for LR at the 44.
Excellent play call. We got it outside quickly, but we didn't try to go wide quickly. He turned it back up inside. That's the difference on that play. When we run parallel on the jet sweep, their defense just flows to the football with their great speed.
They keep Dickey in there out of the shotgun. 2 men in the back. They're going to run, roll right. Willingham dumps it over here to Dickey, and he dropped the football. I don't know if it was wet or not, but he tried to flip it out here to him out of the backfield, and Cal simply just lost the handle, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, we just have not been sharp in any shape at all in the passing game. We've just looked very inept throwing the football. I don't think it's the conditions, though, because that was just a little flip to about 5 yards or less. Dickey was running right in front of Grayson. The thing I did like was he saw the situation and tried to get him the ball quickly so he could run with it.
2nd and 10. Ball's on the left hash. They shift the offense. Wing T look. Sweep running left. Jet sweep. Young following his blockers and bumped out of bounds near midfield. That's a gain of 6. Going to bring up 3rd and 4 now for the Bears. Nice block over there by the Bear tight end.
They've got 2 players that really stood out today. 54 we talked about, DeAndre McCurry, and number 24, Mitchell Smiley. They're around every play. 54, he lines up in there on the center. He's like a nose guard. But I tell you what, at the end of that play, where was he? At the sideline running the guy out of bounds. That guy, he's got a motor that runs all the time in there.
3rd down and 4 now for the Bears. 7:31 to go in the 3rd. This time Willingham on the quarterback keep.
They didn't make it. It's going to be short.
I don't know. It's pretty close.
Well, he's giving his hand. Yeah, they're giving him a mark. Yeah.
First down Bears. Custom
right
design
on
group
right
first
on
down.
The mark. Right on the mark. Boy, you could measure that, and it might be a half-inch short, but it's right dead on the mark. That was good for the Bears because we need to extend a drive here and get some points for our sake. We haven't been very good at finishing drives today. This is one started deeper in our territory. This would be a great one to finish. It would give the Bears a little more confidence back offensively.
Not an easy team to run against. The Bears have run over 200 yards for a team giving up about 70. This time they run it across the middle, and a pass caught. Boy, nice ball fake inside. Fooled me. They hit Will Neal down the center of the football field to the 27. High throw, great catch. Bears get another first down.
And I tell you, that was a great play-action fake by Willingham. Grayson threw the ball just exactly. We had 2 good fakes in there. But here again, even though it was a great job, did you notice the defensive back was right there? They have not been fooled by a lot of things. I don't know what they're keying on to look at us, but they're not being fooled by a lot of things. They're staying at home and on their defensive assignments and doing what they need to do.
Bears have it first down. Ball's on the left hash. Turn. This is Stevens. Tries to stiff arm a man. That's Bell. He'll get it up to the 26. That's a gain of just 2. 2nd and 8. 6 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. Bears up 26-7, driving into the open end here at Moret Stadium.
Here again, that looked like to me, Juju, you saw it right here in front of us. When that play opened up, I thought that's 7-8 yard gain easy. Bam, that guy came from nowhere, makes a tackle. It turned out to be a 1 yard gain.
Bears got to be patient. 2nd and 8. They send a man in motion. Play action. Willingham rolling right, throwing. Man open, caught. 15-10. First down Bears. I believe that is Lester. Nope, Hampton with the nice catch. His first of the afternoon. And the Bears get a custom design group first down. It's 1st and goal for LR.
Now that looked like the old Grayson Willingham right there. He rolled in there, made a good fake, got outside on the roll, and just threw a strike right on time. That's the passing game we've become accustomed to seeing with Grayson Willingham and all our receivers.
Ball's at the 7, far right hash. Willingham steps under center. He'll take the snap from Jefferson. Play action again, rolling right in the end zone. He'll throw it in. Caught.
Touchdown.
Let's wait.
No, he didn't control it. Incomplete.
Incomplete. That was a Ramseur over there.
Exact same play we scored on. He wide open, threw him the ball, and the ball was in his hands, and he just flipped it up in the air, and then he couldn't control it before he went out of bounds. What a great play call. We had him again for the same exact play for a touchdown.
So an incomplete pass calls his 2nd and goal now at the 7. Stops the clock with exactly 5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Grayson out of the gun this time will send a man in motion. That's Carter. He'll roll left, looking left, flips it over here, intercepted. Steps out of bounds, but an interception again. Grayson Willingham, and here comes a late flag. May go against the Bears. So an interception down near the goal line by Miles.
He just threw it behind him.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you, Grayson just had a really bad day throwing the football. He threw a couple on this drive that looked good. But once again, the Bears unable to close offensively, and that's so rare for us to get the ball, take the ball down the field. That was a wonderful drive, too. Let's see what's going to happen. Face mask. That was Grayson Willingham on the tackle, I believe. No, it wasn't. It happened way down here where he marked it. It was somebody down here. I don't know who it was. It was not Grayson. Grayson hit, and that we saw the flag and thought it might have been Grayson. But
it's going to go against LR.
Yeah, it was against the Bears. Yeah, it was after the interception. Somebody was trying to tackle him.
I think there's a little bit of a confusion.
Well, maybe you're right.
Officials down there talking with the head linesman over there.
I tell you, they've had a tough time. Now he's got to re-explain this.
Here we go. Here comes the explanation.
A re-explanation.
Against Miles. They ripped off, I'm telling you, they ripped off Grayson's helmet. That's what the penalty was.
Yeah, they still get the football, but it's half the distance of the goal. Yeah, they got the call right. They just marked the penalty wrong.
Yeah. But the turnover, second turnover of the day for the Bears, is going to put Miles way back inside their own 5, down to the 3, but a first and goal goes awry, and the Bears do not cash in on a great opportunity. Still lead here, 26-7.
And should have had a touchdown on the play before. The ball was bobbled, and then Grayson just threw the ball behind the receiver. He was not wide open, but if the ball was outside where it should have been thrown, it could have been a completion down around the 4 or 5 yard line.
Back to pass out of his own end zone. It's a completed pass up to the 6. As a completion by Cordier. Tyree, gain of 3. Second down and 7.
You're thinking that's a gutsy call throwing down an end zone as bad as they've thrown it. But, hey, last time they were down there and tried to run it, they gave up a safety. Maybe that was a wise call.
Cordier still in there. One of 3 quarterbacks playing today for Miles. They scored a touchdown on the last possession on a nice run. Second and 7. Bears have led all afternoon, 26-7 now. Bears show blitz. Quarterback standing at his own 1. Takes the snap, hands it to Edwards, finds a little bit of a seam. Get it over the 10, up close to the first down to the 12. Is going to be shy. Going to bring up third and 1 now for the Golden Bears.
26, Dante Edwards, he's an excellent running back, 5'8", 215. And I tell you what, he can really run. We saw that already.
Running left again, this is Cordier.
Got the first down.
He should get the first down. The quarterback keeper over the left-hand side, his helmet comes off. But a first down nonetheless for the Golden Bears. Keep their drive alive and get some more space as they had it backed up after the turnover and the penalty to the 3. So they get the first down to the 14.
Daniel Smith comes back in at quarterback. That's the basis of their offense, what you saw right there, Juju. That's what they've wanted to do the whole game. They just have not been able to do it. They want to ride that tailback in there and read, and the quarterback either keep, throw, or, what we call the run-pass options, the RPOs you hear so much about nowadays. That's exactly what they wanted to do, the entire day.
Starting quarterback is now back in there. First and 10, balls at the 14, left hash. He'll look to pass, throwing over here, and he throws a fastball in the dirt, incomplete, second and 10.
Good call. If you think back, when he was in there early, especially the first series, he threw everything low. He just, he's gripping that ball, maybe trying to grip it a little too tight. Sometimes when it's wet, you try to grip it tighter. And sometimes when you grip it tighter, you hold on to it longer, and then it goes low. But he's thrown a bunch of them right at their feet today.
Get a chance to think about it. He's off the field, back in Cordier, second and 10.
This is a guy that they've had a little more success with because he's a little more of a runner. He can ride that thing in there and then keep it.
Second down, waiting on the snap. He's out of the pistol. Edwards straight up the middle, and Williams and Horn in the Bear front line, stopping right at the line of scrimmage. He may get up to the 15. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 now for the Golden Bears. Down to 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Around the scores this afternoon, one Sac 8 school has been knocked out of the playoffs. West Florida knocks off Wingate at Wingate. West Florida wins that game 38-17 final. We're waiting on Carson Newman leading Bowie State 17-9, that game of the fourth quarter. 3rd and 9, left hash. Going left to right. They're backed up in their open net at Moretz Stadium. Quarterback Cordier looking left under pressure. Looking and dumps it off, incomplete. Incomplete through the hands of the Bears. Make a nice hit up there. Palmer with a nice hit on the running back. Edwards, so another punting situation. Their 11th punt of the afternoon for the Golden Bears of Miles College. Their second appearance in the playoffs. Last time they were here in 2012, they got bounced in the first round by West Alabama. And today have trailed the entire way, and their punter is going to stand in his own end zone. His right leg must be a little tired today.
I'm sure. Got a final. Carson Newman hangs on, 17-9. They'll be here next week if the Bears can hang on.
Second time in, 6 years, second round of the playoffs. Oh. Low snap, end over end kick. Bears are going to field it. This is Mitchell. Spins around, running right, and is dragged down from behind at the 44. And the Bears are going to get excellent field position once again on the side of Miles. This side of the field has been tilting most of the afternoon. LR has it at the 44, 1st and 10, leading 26-7 here with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
I think Grayson Willingham's fumble that gave them the ball in our territory may have been the only time they've gotten a possession outside of right before halftime. They may have gotten to our territory, but, it's just been the defense has dominated today. And the offense has struggled, but, again, have put together some really good drives, but hadn't been into closing with points.
They run left. Carter cuts it up in the middle as between the tackles and the two hash marks. Ryan Carter up to the 38. Had a good game last week against Catawba, kind of an unsung player. Really good blocker, runs the ball well, good receiver out of the backfield, gains 6 that time, 2nd and 4.
We were talking about Jaquay Mitchell earlier, and I had to refer to you at halftime to tell me who the player was, but we had a great player some years ago on those great Bear Wishbone teams. His name was Graham Duncan. And Graham Duncan was always the guy like Jaquay Mitchell. Whatever you need doing, if you needed to block, he made it. If you needed to run, he could catch a punt, catch a pass, you name it, he could do it.
Here we go again, running with the ball is Carter. And they tried to rip the ball loose. And the ball's going to be at the 35. Shy of the first down, 3rd, and less than 1 now for the Bears.
You see the big guy coming back in there. Tate Beaver's been used a lot today as a blocker. He hasn't carried the ball very much. He's been the primary blocker in there at the fullback or the B-back position. And Amin Stevens is in there now. If he doesn't get the ball, I'm going to be real surprised.
3rd and 1 now, 35-yard line. Turn, hand it off Stevens, first down, pushing forward. Tackled at the 31, pickup of 5. 4-yard pickup, first down for the Bears at the 31, a custom design group first down. Amin Stevens has had a good game this afternoon, about 20 rushes, Jack, for about 100 yards or so.
Yeah, he's had, let me see if I can get his stats up here sometime. He's got 15 rushes for 100 yards. If this is up, it may not have been updated on that last carry, but he's at least 15 rushes, 100 yards right now.
1st and 10, 31. They shift. Handoff Stevens right side, following his blockers. Little trap play to the right-hand side. Amin Stevens gets it down to the 24. That's a gain of 7. 42 seconds. This will be the final play maybe of the third quarter. It's going to bring 2nd and short now for LR. Going to the open end of Moretz Stadium. Amin Stevens picking up 7 that time. They bring in a couple of tight ends. Will Neal comes out. Mitchell back in. Hampton in there for LR. Stevens in. And Ryan Carter will line up on the left wing. Mitchell lines up in the backfield alongside Stevens. Willingham under center. Right hash. 2nd down. They hand it to Mitchell following his blocker. Should have enough for the first down. Close. Down to the 21.
He did. Well, this guy, there you go. Now they're giving it to him, yeah. That'll run the clock out, too. When Coach, I watched Coach on the sideline when he hollered over there to get Jaquay. He hollered over at Jaquay, go in there. You can almost bet he's going in there to carry the football. He's not going to put him in there unless he's going to get his hands on it.
3 quarters are in the books. And the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne, this first round NCAA Division II playoff game, go to the fourth quarter. Your score, Lenoir-Rhyne 26 and Miles 7. This is Bears football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Quality work that's on time and within.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
1490 WSVM Valdez. 96.5 W243DV FM Valdez. Your hometown station.
We go to the fourth quarter. Bears on top here. They have it. 1st and 10. A play action pass across the middle. Caught. Dropped by the tight end. Bears are trying to go to Drake Starks across the middle. Looks like he had it for a second, then had it stripped from him. Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
I'll tell you, once again, Choo-Choo, it's the same thing. The Bears just, that's an easy touchdown any other game but today. It seemed like everything we've done well in the past. Drake Starks, all-conference tight end, 2 years in a row, just a sophomore. And he was open. The ball was perfectly thrown. And Grayson's had 2 touchdown passes dropped by 2 different tight ends.
2nd and 10. Ball's at the right hash. Bears going to the gym side here at Moret Stadium. They run a jet sweep. And Mitchell tackled in the backfield on the loss. Back to the 25. Loss of 4.
I'll tell you, that Miles defense, if you don't get them blocked, they just run underneath you all day long. Man, they got guys that can really run on defense. Very, very impressive defensive. We've been down here, and we've still basically only got 2 touchdowns today by the offense, and one of those is the first series when we scored in 3 plays.
Bears have 250 yards on the ground here as we start the fourth quarter. 3rd down. They got to get down to the 12 for a first down. Play action, Willingham looking downfield across the middle. High throw incomplete. They were intended down there for the tight end Ramsor, but was covered tightly, so an incomplete pass. Going to send out the kicker again, Chase Elbaugh. I believe, yes, he's out there, so he's going to attempt about a 40-yard punt kick here. Mark it at the 42, but another big play by the Miles defense. Bears are going to have to settle for 3. 14-10 to go. Just started the fourth quarter. They line it up right hash at the 42. Owen will be the holder. Strawn the snapper. Hold is down. Kick is up. Long enough, high enough, and good. Splits the sticks. Chase Elbaugh connects from 43. And with 14:04 to go in the game, Bears tack on another 3 points. Your score, Lenoir-Rhyne 29 and Miles 7. Back with more. This is Lenoir-Rhyne football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
Joints are always in motion. Everyday life can burden with unending pain, and those issues can be symptoms of a more serious issue. Ortho Carolina specializes in hip and knee, sports medicine, spine, and so much more. And at Ortho Carolina, they have a team nearby, ready and willing to correct those issues that plague you. And when time is of the essence, Ortho Carolina has urgent care centers open nights and weekends for fractures, strains, and sprains. That's Ortho Carolina. OrthoCarolina.com. You improved.
Back here, Juju Phillips after the Bear field goal. LR leading here 29-7. Miles will get the football here. Again, it's been overcast, rainy, wet, kind of raw this afternoon. Rain has been off and on. I don't know if it's played that much of a factor in the game today, but it is. The fans have braved the weather today. Still a number of fans out there today.
I tell you, I don't think the field and or the conditions have had anything to do with this football game. I haven't seen anything that made me think, "Oops, there's a bad weather play."
Here's an option play by the quarterback Cordier, and he is Sherrod Williams hit in the backfield. He knocks him down, so the Bears senior linebacker from Edison, Georgia, makes the play. And I was a little surprised he did not make all conference.
Well, I think it was because he missed some games, in there.
He's third on the team in tackles.
I thought he was an all-conference performer.
But they had a program record 15 players make the all-conference team this year. I know Swingett had more first-teamers than Lenoir-Rhyne did, including their entire backfield. And they're bounced from the playoffs in the first round. Second down and 12.
That's why they make the all-conference selections at the end of the season, not at the end of the playoffs.
Bears hit, quarterback running downfield. They throw the pass. He underthrows his receiver running way downfield, Tyree, but the quarterback was hit by Artis as he let the football go. Big time, you're right, Mike. Incomplete, 3rd and 12 now for the Golden Bears.
He had a step or two on him, but he'd outrun his arm. There was no way. I don't think, I'm not sure Brett Favre could have thrown that ball. People remember who that is. He could have thrown that ball that far. He was way down. I mean, he had just run as hard as he could go. And sometimes you need to slow up a little bit and then turn it on. He just took off running, and he was way down there.
Fortier got hit by Artis. See if the Bears get some pressure. They'll line up 4. Artis and Robinson at the end. They'll back up. Looking right. He's under pressure and throws it away into the sideline over there. So another punt coming for Miles College. Their 12th punt of the ball game today with 13 minutes to go. Bears on top, 29-7. Bears off. I think right now Miles' offensive unit, they have not generated 100 yards of offense today, have they?
Let's look at their stats.
I'm just guessing.
Oh, it's close. They're at 94.
94 yards.
They had the one long run.
And they lost.
Yeah, Edwards had a 38-yard run.
Lost
third on one play.
There's a kick. The ball is not kicked out of bounds. We're waiting for another poor kick by the Miles kicker, and we're waiting for the official kind of to mark it. It's going to be in Miles territory. He's still going to the 42, so the Bears have it once again in Miles territory. They have had the ball on this side of the field all game today. This time they'll start at the 42 with 13:02 to go. LR offense trying to break it open. You've got a feeling that one touchdown here by Lenoir-Rhyne will really break this game open, maybe break the backs of Miles.
Yeah, I thought really and truly at halftime we punch in one more score, then maybe get another one, and we're up 35-0 in the middle of the third quarter. We could start seeing some of the backup people in there, and but we've had to pretty much keep our first unit in there because this game's still in doubt because they can't score right now, but they did pop one big play and they have the potential. So coaches, he doesn't have any choice. He's got to keep the big guys in there and let them play.
A couple of defensive backs for Miles get up limping. Shade and I believe Grayson, the secondary. One's a safety and one's a cornerback. I believe maybe some ankle injuries, but the Bears, Mitchell picked up 5-6 yards on that carry off the right side, so 2nd and 4. Some other stats as we are in the fourth quarter, Jack. You didn't have a chance to mention it, but you mentioned the big fullback, Amin Stevens, has had a fine game today for LR.
Jaquay Mitchell, 11 carries for 64 yards. He's had a good day. Derek Young, 5 carries for 36. Ryan Carter, 5 carries for 26. And that's kind of out of the ordinary. Warren Bell's only had 3 carries for 9 yards. Cal Dickey, 1 for 8. That was a big third down play. Grayson Willingham, of course, had 6 carries, but -1 because he's been sacked a couple of times. Dante Edwards leads Miles, 13 carries, 79 yards. A 38-yard run for the touchdown was the big one. And, again, they have thrown 15 passes and completed 3 for a total of 13 yards. So, if you're unable to run the ball, which is your forte, and then you can't throw it, and I'm sure they did a lot of their throwing like the Bears do off play action during the regular season. If you can't run it, it's hard to make those play action fakes are not quite as successful.
2nd and 5 now. Bears have it. Ball's on the right hash going towards the gym side here at Moret Stadium.
The Bears have a total, let's see, stats. Bring them back up here.
2nd down and 5. Handoff. This is Bell running right. Hesitation. Stiff arm. Goes out of bounds. Close to the 30. That's good enough for a custom design group. Bear first down.
The Bears have 251 yards rushing. And in 11 games, they only gave up 938 in 11 games. They're pretty good against the run. They've proved it today, but the Bears have been relentless in running the football, which is what we usually are. The only thing that's hurt us is 2 drop passes in the second half that would have been touchdowns, and this game would have been on ice, and we'd see Gunnar Anderson in there right now.
Bears get an automatic first down at the 32. Take their time now. Play clock down to 5. Willingham under center, sends a man in motion. Handoff. Bell up the middle. Driving forward. The Bears sophomore fullback out of Scotland County. I believe they won last night their playoff game here in North Carolina, down to the 26. It's going to be a gain of 5, 2nd and 5 now for the Bears. Stevens checks in. Bell comes out of there.
Yeah, the only thing disappointing, I think, for the Bears is what I mentioned. I think Coach maybe felt like early on, if we could just get one more in there, we could have been in their position to play some of the backups a little bit, let them get some more playing time, and rest some of our number one guys because, Carson Newman's going to show up here next week knowing they can play with us.
Here's running right, Mitchell. Following his blockers, Jason Poe. Poe slips down, but Mitchell follows him inside the 20 down to the 18. Good enough for a custom design group first down as the Bear all-conference lineman comes out right now. He got stepped on down there as he was pulling on the right side.
Yeah, he's back in there.
Okay,
yeah.
He's been plagued by some leg injuries this year.
Well, he got hit by Jaquay. Jaquay's the one that ran up his back of his legs there, and when he got hit, he kind of fell forward into Jason's legs.
First down at the 18. Willingham under center, turns and hands it to Stevens, has a hole inside the 10, inside the 5. Stevens pushing forward. They drive him into the end zone. Touchdown, Lenoir-Rhyne. Stevens with a nice strong run. He goes 17 into the land of milk and honey, and the Bears tack on that touchdown we were waiting for.
And you know what? That's so great right there because from about the 5-yard line on in, it was Stevens and the offensive line pushing him. The entire offensive line was behind him, pushing him into the end zone. The tight ends, the O-line, everybody got in on that. That looked like a rugby scrum, and they just shoved him into the end zone.
6 plays, 42 yards. Extra point is good. The good guys tack on a touchdown. It's Lenoir-Rhyne 36. And Miles 7 back with more Bear football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Carolina West Wireless is a Bears fan, and we're proud to offer hometown prices for the home team, their roommates.
NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Stevens takes it in. Here's another pooch kick, fielded at the 20 by Miles, tackled immediately at the 25. So a nice strong run, a 44-yard drive. The Bears cap it and now lead it here 36-7 as Lenoir-Rhyne looks like with 10.5 minutes to go going to meet fellow SAC 8 rival Carson Newman in round 2 of the playoffs next Saturday between the bricks. here at Moret Stadium for the second time in 6 years. Those two schools will play in the second round. Well, actually for the third time in 7 years, these two schools will be playing in the second round of the playoffs, Jack. They played at Carson-Newman back in 2012 and 2013, played here, and looks like they're going to play here again next week for Thanksgiving weekend game in the NCAA playoffs. Here's a pass completed on the far side over there for Miles over the 30 up to about the 31.
Now we can expect some of that throwing underneath because with the score as it is now. And I think finally the Miles defense just got to the point they just broke on those last couple of runs. I mean, we just ran the ball down the field those last couple of times. They had played very superior defense all day against the Bears.
Here's a running play, and Artis comes in and tackles him along with Houston in the backfield. Bear Defensive Player of the Year, the defense along with Malik Taylor. Stopping the running back, Dante Edwards in the backfield. Going to bring up 3rd and long. 3rd and 8 now for the Golden Bears. Came into this game 9-2, having won 3 in a row. 5-1 of the conference. They won their SIAC Conference Championship, the title game last week, winning 21-6 over Albany State. And they jumped about 3 teams, Jack, to get into the playoffs because 7 through 10 all were knocked out and lost last week. So Miles gets in.
Yeah, it's hard to argue a 9-2 and a conference champion.
Nope, you're right. Here's a run pass option across the middle, completed over there for the first down. That's Leonard Tyree, a senior out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
That looked like the offense now that I know they wanted to run from day one. That was the run pass option. He rode the back in there, saw there was no yardage, pulled it out, and as he started to run, he looks downfield. If he sees a receiver on a little stop route somewhere open, he throws him the ball. If he doesn't, he runs the ball.
Get the first down with 9:20 to go in the ball game. 1st and 10 now for the Golden Bears. They have 4 receivers, 3 here to the near side. Ball's on the near the far right hash. Quarterback is Cordier, and he's standing at his own 38. Take the shotgun snap. He'll keep it. Run pass option over midfield and into LR territory at the 44. Gain of 12. Another first down for the Golden Bears. Tackled by Lenoir-Rhyne's Malik Taylor.
There are 2. Dante Young and Preston Joseph are in at the linebacker spots. The defensive line is still the starting group, and it looks like for the most part the defensive backfield is still the starting part, but Young and Joseph are in there at the linebacker slots right now.
1st and 10. Ball's on the right hash. 4 receivers out for Miles. Here's a run pass option. Cordier keeps it. He'll get up to the 40. Lunges forward. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6.
And again, we're seeing right now what they had hoped to do from the beginning of the ball game. The difference was they've got a running quarterback in there now. The quarterback they began the game with, Daniel Smith, a 52% passer, which is not that great in football anymore. We used to think if you completed 50% of them, it's pretty good. Now you got to be up around 70% to be pretty good.
Cortier's out of the shotgun, 2nd down and 6. Shotgun snap, back to pass. They're going to let it go deep downfield, incomplete. Intended for Tyree, running down a post pattern covered by J.P. Palmer over there. Incomplete, stops the clock, 7:54 to go in the ball game.
Cordier laying on the ground, and he looked up there at the white hat, and he said, throw the flag. He said, throw the flag. He got drilled right after that ball left his hand, and the official didn't make the call, so obviously it wasn't there.
I believe now Miles over 100 yards of offense today with this drive.
Yep.
3rd down and 6.
Better get up here and snap the ball. You're going to have a...
Down to 3 seconds on the play clock. He gets the snap, looking left, throws it over here incomplete. Bounce pass to the wide receiver, Leonard Tyree. He fielded it on one hop. Incomplete, 4th down now for the Golden Bears. Let's see if they go for it here or with another punt.
Wow.
They're going to go and punt the football. 13th punt of the afternoon.
If I'm looking for a fake punt right here.
I don't see how their punter, Jay Fitch, can lift his right leg.
Well, not that. I mean, why would you punt it? 7:50 to go. You're down 36-7. The ball is at the 40-yard line. You've had a lot worse field position than this since you give them the Bears at some point in time. Got to be alert for a fake right here. The defense is on the field.
Low snap. He fumbles the football. Bears are going to get it. They tackle Fitch. Ball just kind of floated back there, and he dropped it, picked it up, got tackled by LR, and the offense will take care of the football here after Amari Houston made the stop for the Bears, and a turnover on downs and a special teams boo-boo by the Golden Bears.
Wow. I tell you, that's just ball.
You're right. Mike made that point. We were out here watching the game, Jack, while you were hobnobbing down at the Bears Pavilion, that Mike was saying that they had a hard time snapping the football.
Well,
on the punt.
I'm going to be honest with you, though. I'm not putting that on the snapper. If you're a punter, Mike stood back there just like I did. Because if that ball's low, you catch it and get it off.
That's right.
He just tried to pick it up, and he couldn't. He kept stumbling forward trying to pick it up.
He's so tired from having kicked the ball today.
Well, that may be true, too.
Tate Beaver, number 44, running in the secondary for the Bears, gets 8 on the play. Down to the 38-yard line. The Fred T. Ford High School Newton product picks up 8. Second down and 2.
Yeah, the Bears now, you're going to see a lot of ground game now. Coach is going to try to run that thing out. We may try to hit them in a minute, but I would expect right now that Coach feels the way I do. We got 36 points, and we haven't played that well. Basically, three of those touchdowns came via the offense. The others came on some drives that were stopped for field goals and a blocked punt. So, let's get out of here. Let's run that clock as long as we can, pick up first downs, and get this one over with and get ready for Carson Newman.
You're right. They're waiting on the play clock. It's down to 20 seconds. Willingham taking his time. Second and short. Look to the sidelines. He is under center this time. Saheem Brooks checks in along with Latrell. Mitchell in there. Beaver checks in at fullback. Second and short. Wing T look. He'll send a man in motion. Hand to Beaver right side. Has the first down. He get it inside the 35 down to the 33. Goes Tate Beaver. A Bear custom design group first down. Fresh set of downs. They move the sticks with under 7 minutes to go in the game. Beaver checks out, limping a little bit. That right ankle, I believe, or left ankle, has been bothering him the last few weeks. He's missed some time for LR. And Bell back in there at fullback for the Bears, along with Maggio at tight end.
Everybody we've got, gotten pretty healthy in most of the positions. A guy that I think could still really help us, Jace Jordan. I'm hoping he was able to come back maybe and play next week. He's on the list where he could be made eligible to play in these games.
Handoff, Bell spins and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Now, right there's an example. You could see it right here, Juju, really good, where Stevens has a tendency on that to slide to the outside. Had he slid to the outside, there was a nice little gap over there for him to run. Bell hit it, and he spun and went back into where the flow was. And, if you run back toward the flow, you're usually going to wind up with somebody hitting you in the face mask.
So much of being a really good running back at any level is your vision.
Yeah, vision and instinct.
You're right.
You just have a feel for where it is. And Amin has learned that, a lot of times they just slide to the outside and keep your shoulders square and keep moving.
The good thing is he's only a sophomore. Wow. Second down and 9. Fullback run up the middle again. Bell spins down close to the 30.
Yeah. That time he stayed kind of to the outside. He picked up a couple of more yards there. That didn't look like it was going to gain much, and then he popped it real quick.
Gain of 3. Third down and 5. 5.5 minutes to go. The ball game. Bears are going to win here. Improve their playoff record this decade and overall to 7-4. And for the first Lenoir-Rhyne football team in their 100-year history, they're going to be 12-0. No team has ever gone 12-0 to start the season. And the Bears are 5 minutes away from making that happen. Third down and 5. Ball's at the 30, center of the football field. Handoff again, Bell running right. Trying to push forward and gets down to about the 26. That's going to be shy of about a yard and a half.
Yeah. Interesting call right here now. Do you go field goal and take it, or you just eat up the field goal? Really doesn't do that much. 36-7. That's a 29-point lead. I'm thinking you're going for this first down, and if you don't, you give them the ball right here. They haven't shown the ability to put a drive together to drive it down the field, so this could be quick pitch city. Remember, we ran that little quick pitch play a couple times on these situations and picked up the first down.
Bears have a couple of freshman wingbacks in there, Cal Dickey and Trey Latrell. I'm going to have to check with Trey. Is it Latrell or Luttrell? I think it's Luttrell. They send one in motion, look to the sidelines. See if they could get Miles to jump offside, and the Bears are going to call a timeout here. We'll take a quick timeout. Your score, Lenoir-Rhyne 36 and Miles 7. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Hey folks, it's Mike Johnson and Mike Johnson Hickory.
NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
A long two for the Bears. They have it. Willingham turns, hands it off. The Bell has the first down. The fullback dives forward inside the 20-yard line. I think that's called the wham play, Jack. They have a couple of lead blockers, and they just wham it up the middle, and he picked up good yardage in the Bear first down.
Yeah, we gave him that little jet sweep look to the left, and then ran the ball back just to the right of center. As you said, it was just straight ahead power blocking, and Warren Bell said, hey, 1.5 yards, give me the ball.
Gunnar Anderson comes over here and gets his helmet. I don't know if he's going to check in now. He's going to take a couple of snaps from fellow Alexander Central High School product Isaac Chapman down there on the sidelines.
Yeah, they had Chapman working at center earlier today. They had 3 centers working in the pregame, and Chapman was the third one along Ronnie Clifton and Blake Jefferson, who's in there now.
Played guard and defensive line for the Bears earlier this year. They moved him over from defense. Timeout. Lenoir-Rhyne. So we'll keep it here, and I think you're right. They're going to check in. Chapman is going to check in at center, and Gunnar Anderson will come in at quarterback, and that's going to do it for the afternoon for Grayson Willingham with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Lenoir-Rhyne has it 1st and 10, leading here 36-7. That's a good time now to give you some scores in the NCAA Division II playoffs, maybe some updates on the 2 o'clock games that got underway. I'll give the finals we have thus far. Carson Newman wins at Bowie State today, 17-9. They'll be here between the bricks next week to take on the Bears. Wingate gets bounced in the first round. At home, they lose to West Florida, 38-17. It is Shepherd knocks off Indiana University of Pennsylvania, 31-27. Kutztown knocks off Tiffin, 33-31. Notre Dame College defeats Westchester, 31-24. And some of the games in the Midwest and West are underway as we speak.
In the fourth quarter, Central Missouri leads Indianapolis, 37-19. Colorado Mines is losing to Sioux Falls, 21-14. Harding and Northwest Missouri hooked up, and this must have been a real game, 7-6, Northwest Missouri.
Final score? Final score. Running left, this is Luttrell, and he is bounced at about the 16, but Trey Luttrell, I should say, gains about 4 on the play.
And another interesting story, Ouachita Baptist ranked number 4 in the country, 38-38 with unranked Lindenwood in the fourth quarter. Texas A&M Commerce leads, number 20 leads number 5, Tarleton State, 23-13 in the third quarter. So you got some upsets in the top 5, actually. And then Augustana and Colorado State Pueblo is 3-0 in favor of Colorado State Pueblo at half, 3-0.
Bears are one of 9 undefeated teams left in Division II to open the playoffs. Looks like maybe 1 or 2 of them may go down today. Second down, handoff Beaver running right side. Tate will get it inside the 15 and drives forward down to the 12. It's going to be close, but not a first down. Bringing up a 3rd and short now. 3rd and about 2 for the Bears. Trying to run out the clock here, leading 36-7. 2.5 minutes to go. See if the Bears try to get it into the end zone or just maybe get another fresh set of downs and a first down here. But the Bears nonetheless are going to win today to improve their playoff record to 7-4, and will take on Carson Newman between the bricks next Saturday afternoon. Here we go under center. Gunnar Anderson in, taking the snaps from fellow high school teammate Isaac Chapman. Ball's in the center of the field. 3rd and 3. Anderson Turns, jet sweep, ball's on the ground, fumble. Looks
Miles
like
got it.
Miles gets the turnover. I don't know if it was a bad snap or the running back dropped the football. I'm not sure on the jet sweep, but a turnover for the Bears. Third turnover of the afternoon. Miles gets it with 1:53 to go in the ball game.
Gunner got the snap, but that play is such a timing handoff. Gunner got the snap, and boy, he had to wheel real fast, and the ball hit, was it Cal Dickey?
Yeah, I think so.
It was Cal Dickey, and the ball hit Cal Dickey. Instead of getting it into his stomach, it hit him on the hip. The ball fell. Gunner was going one way, the ball went the other way, and three Miles linemen just fell on top of it. And the only thing that ever runs there is this game's going to last a little bit longer now because they're not going to – well, they may run it, though.
Here's a stretch play. Edwards running left, and big hit by Jay Wiley.
Yeah, you got
one of the seniors for the Bears. He's been in the program for a long time, Jack. He's seen three head coaches.
Right. I started to say his name's on the depth chart for backing up at several positions. But the Bears have almost entire second unit defense in there now.
Yeah, Jay Wiley, defensive end, senior out of Wilson, North Carolina, and Hunt High School, James Hunt High School. And again, has been part of, came in recruited, I believe, by head coach Ian Shields, went through the Mike Keller era, and now with the Bears as a senior, makes the tackle that time, gain of 4, second down and 6. We're under... All right, a minute to go here when the ball is snapped. Here's another stretch play running right. This time Young on the tackle. Dante Young on the stop. Shy of the first down. Under a minute to go. Third down now for the Golden Bears.
Give Coach Ruffin a lot of credit here, too. He's conference champion, 9-2, been a good season, and, he knows the situation right here. That's why they're running the football just like the Bears would have to run out this clock. Give him a lot of credit. That's a veteran coach for you right there. He's very comfortable with what's happened. His team did not play well offensively today. The defense showed up and played really, really well for the most part, but the Bears were just too strong overall.
He said it was a big deal for his school to make the playoffs, only the second time in their school history, and he has been there for 8 years as a winning record. And Miles has one of the best defenses the Bears have played all year. Miles Jackson, speaking of Miles, a freshman linebacker, makes the stop. And that's going to be the final play of the game. So your Lenoir-Rhyne Bears are moving on, survive and advance in the NCAA Division II playoffs. Your final score, Lenoir-Rhyne a winner today. The Bears knock off the Golden Bears. Your final score, Lenoir-Rhyne 36 and Miles 7. The Bears are moving on to the round of Sweet 16 in the NCAA Division II playoffs. We're back with a post-game show. Stay with us. It's a happy Lenoir-Rhyne today. Moretz Stadium the site. Now the rain picks up again as the game is over. It started to rain a little heavier this afternoon, but the Bears win today. Stay tuned. We'll be back with a post-game show. You're listening to Lenoir-Rhyne Football, powered by Carolina West Wireless.
Carolina West Wireless is a Bears fan, and we're proud to offer hometown prices for the home